All right. Well, welcome to the Wild Chaos Show. Why don't you give us an intro? And we're going to dive in. I'm excited for this one because I don't know anything about you. You were recommended through Randy, through Hot Shot Brew, or what's he got?
Hot Shot Brewery. He's got quite a few.
He's got
things
everything going on. But yeah, let's dive into this and get started because you are quite an interesting person.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, my name is Makenzie, and I'm from California, in Northern California. I've been there my whole life.
Real California.
Real California. I always tell people the great state of Northern California.
Isn't it?
Is where I'm from.
I did some work up in Redding and up in Northern California, and it's a completely different world. Mm-hmm. Completely, and like especially if you're Weed County or Weed? What's that the town right on the border, Oregon?
Yeah, Weed, Siskiyou County.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
I live in Shasta County currently in Redding.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I shot I got a pig in the garage actually. My very first pig I ever shot was in Redding, California.
Really?
We did and it was my first guided hunt I've ever done in my life. I was working for this really rich guy at the time, and he was like, "We're gonna go hunt pigs," and I'm like, "Cool, whatever." It was the biggest shit show. We were staying in this cabin that it was like 100-year-old cabin. So they just every year when they'd paint it, they just painted over the windows so you couldn't get the windows open.
Just a facelift.
Facelift every year. So it ran off solar, but you had an hour and a half once it went dark. That's how much the battery life would hold. So like you're getting everything ready, and it was so hot because everything would shut off, so there's no fans or anything. So at night when the guides would leave, we would drag all the mattresses outside and put them in the back of the pickup trucks. And
sleep outside.
I slept on a picnic table, and we just slept outside every night because it was so hot. But I ended up shooting this giant pig, and it was the most beautiful country up there. And I mean,
that's amazing.
People don't understand. Like there's two different parts of California for sure.
Yeah, no, it's I'm from Lake County, hence the hat.
Yep, representing.
So yep, that's where I grew up, born and raised. It's super small. I don't know if you're familiar with like Clear Lake. It's really good bass fishing and stuff there. So that's most of the time if I say Clear Lake, people are like, okay, I know where that is. But yeah, super small town. And I, didn't want to stay there after school. Didn't want to try to do the local hometown thing because it's tiny and there's not a lot of opportunity there. There's like one good grocery store. There like used to be a Kmart. And that was it.
The Kmart?
Yeah.
So now you're down to
They lost the Kmart.
Okay. All right.
But it was like a kind of place where, okay, you're going to go school shopping when you're growing up. You're going to drive an hour and a half to Santa Rosa.
No kidding.
To go get like legit clothes and supplies and stuff like that.
So you're out there.
Yeah. And it's just like, there's just not a lot there really. Okay. Which I actually do really appreciate, especially now when I go back and visit because my mom's still there.
Okay.
And it's grown quite a bit. It's got a huge winery scene. Which I love.
How's that changed the dynamic of the area? Has it still got the feel and everything of NorCal?
Yeah,
okay.
It does. However, there's been quite the influence, a positive one in my opinion. Because like Kelseyville is where I went to high school. It's a smaller town than Lakeport, and they brought in some new stores, and they brought in there's like a tap house brewery. There's tons of little tasting rooms along, and stores and boutiques and stuff, and like none of that was there when I was growing up.
Go Absolutely figure. Nothing after you leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still small. I think at the time when I was there, the population's like 3,500, maybe 4,000.
What's it now?
Probably 5,000.
Oh, so that's perfect then.
Yeah, it's not.
So you have
huge.
Everything you need, but without the boom of the people.
So it's like I bounced all over since I graduated high school.
Okay.
But I've been in Redding, technically Anderson, for 5 years now. And part of the reason why I love it up there as well is because it reminds me of home, but it's got a little bit more to offer.
Yep.
It's a way, obviously I met all new people, new friends, relationships, whatever, since I've been up there. Which is
good to clear every now and then.
Yes, exactly. But it's also just I always tell people kind of what we were talking about, it's a different California. It's like real California. They're
very much.
Oh, you live in Redding, how's that, or this, or it's California. I'm like, dude, this place, don't come here because it's badass and everyone's going to want to, come do all the things. But it's cool because there's good hunting, good fishing. There's lots of lakes. There's the rivers, trails. It's one of the best places to mountain bike ride. There's trail systems everywhere. And they're legit taken care of, good trails.
That's nice.
Yeah. So people come from out of the area just to ride mountain bikes up there.
That's pretty legit. So there's a lot to, I mean, it's funny because you're way, I was, the wife's like, how old is she? I was like 1994, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, she's a baby.
Yeah.
But like when I left town, I'm from upstate New York, but it's stuck in time. Like they've brought some nice restaurants, you know, like that whole scene. Cause I'm from literally, I grew up in a tourist town right on the St. Lawrence River, the Canadian border. And, you know, so growing up there was nothing. And then there's still nothing, but there's just some nice restaurants on the water. So it's been preserved, but you hear a lot of times like, oh, I go back home and it's completely different now. I mean, even here in Boise, since we've been here, not the same.
How many years have you guys been here?
8 years here.
Okay, so I know that a lot of like development and everything has taken place in the last 5 years around
The whole top,
here?
none of that was all farmstead. Like there was a huge Halloween thing there. I mean, so that's where the wife and I always joke. We're like, we'll never live anywhere where there's an In-N-Out. And then when as soon as they were like, okay, got approved, because they've been talking about an In-N-Out in Idaho for a century. And it's so every time it's like, let's go, they're going to have it. And we're like, okay. We'd always be like, I hope to God we don't. I hope we don't. And then when they were like, we're breaking ground, we're like, it's time. It's time.
We're getting
so
out of here.
our hourglass has been flipped on that. It's time to at least go, you know, a little bit. We're either going back east or we're going to try to get, you know, up north a little bit or something.
Northern Idaho.
So I don't want to go full northern because where I grew up, I hate winters.
Okay.
I despise winters. Like, it's not even the snow. I grew up in the cold, and it is the frozen tundra on the St. Lawrence River. You get the wind chill. We were fortunate because all the lake effect snow comes off all the Great Lakes and goes 20 miles south of us. So all the schools, like every morning you'd get up and see if your school was canceled or delayed. Every school would be canceled. And it was like Thousand Islands High School, 2-hour delay due to cold weather. And we're like, fuck. Like so we would cancel us or delay us due to the cold because kids couldn't stand at bus stops.
Yep.
So, but like, I just don't want to deal with that anymore.
No, I don't blame you.
And that's why I love it here is because we're in this bowl where we shovel maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
And so I'm cool with that. But I want seasons. I don't want to go south because I have to have seasons. I want cool falls, you know, I have to have that. But at the same time, like, I don't want to deal with humidity. It's not a big guy area.
That's fair. Yeah.
So for me, I'm good on that. So do you know Jen and Narissa with Girls with Guns?
I don't know them personally.
Okay. I thought they're in Redding or at least close to that. Okay.
They're local. Yeah.
They're pretty good friends. I've known them. God, it's got to be over a decade now.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure my stepmom is friends with one of them.
Okay.
Because she's into guns and
rocks
a bunch of their apparel and stuff like that.
They do a lot in that area.
Yeah.
So after high school? After
high school, what did I do? I graduated when I was 17 and I had no idea, no aspirations of like, I want to go to school and do this and I'm going to get my degree. No, I absolutely not. And I was
rightfully so.
Yeah. And I was a 4.0 student when I graduated. Like I did well in school, but I don't know. And I think I went on Facebook at the time and there was like a couple girls that I played softball against from another school. And they're like, we're moving to Santa Barbara. We have a 2-bedroom apartment. There's 3 of us and we need 1 more.
Who's in?
I was like, I'll go.
Really?
I had never been there or anything. And I was like, I'll go. Yeah. So literally like went and met up with them and their parents and everything. And we just like talked about what the situation would be and the apartment and this and that. So it's like 4 of us girls crammed into a 2-bedroom apartment.
No.
Because it's so expensive down there.
Pause. As a girl dad. What were your parents saying? This is my fear, where my kids are like, I'm out, we're leaving. Like, that's my fear. I want them here forever. So, were your parents cool with this? Or?
Yeah. At the time, that was just me and my mom.
Okay.
My senior year. Yeah. So she was like, my mom is so cool. She's always been supportive of whatever I want to do.
That helps a lot.
Or just like, okay, go ahead. Go for it. Sometimes she, we'll get into it later, I'm sure, about like the things she doesn't like I'm doing. Okay. Like how, tonight I'm driving up to Whitebird by myself and she's like, please don't camp in a tent on the snowy mountains, blah, blah, blah. Because I've been known to do that. Like I've done the Frank Church hunt where you get dropped off in an airplane and you backpack in, you set up camp, and then you almost die.
You're on your
deer
own.
Hunting. Yeah, you're on your own. And so she knows that I do stuff like that. And so she's like, please don't do this. Please be careful, blah, blah, blah. Like don't sleep in a parking lot at a truck stop. Like just all these things,
I mean, that's a mom.
Yeah, it's a mom. So anyways, she was fine with me going to Santa Barbara. Okay. She went down with me. to check it out. And I just was like, yeah, let's go. I'll sign up for the community college. I'll go get a job. Like, I got down there and I had a job within 2 days.
Doing what?
My first job there, I worked at a restaurant.
Okay.
And they only would let the boys be bussers. And I was like, I want to bus tables.
More money or?
It's just more fun than hosting.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Not necessarily more fun, but it's like you're working.
Yeah.
So you're doing something more than just standing up front and like
I bus
people.
tables when one of my first jobs. It was the most. We would go downstairs and just fuck off the whole entire.
Yeah.
And we were eating food off.
Yes.
Like you'd get like a whole pizza and then eat like 2 slices.
Yes.
And you'd be like, every day we just gorge ourselves with food.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just was
I get
like,
it.
but you had to start at the bottom. So I was like, all right, I'll be a hostess first. And then I talked the managers into letting me be a food expo. So you're a food runner.
Okay.
So you carry the big tray with the food on it and run it out to people.
Did you ever drop it?
No.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Every time I see them, I always want to ask people.
Yeah. It's interesting learning like your placement and then how you load the tray.
Yep.
Just like small little intricate details that people don't think are a big deal because
And when people try to reach and pull something off.
Yeah, you're like, don't do that.
Yep. That's
when you're going to drop
That's the cardinal rule. Don't ever reach.
Yeah. So, I worked my way up to being a food runner there. I actually really enjoyed that job. And then enrolled at Santa Barbara City College, which is the community college there. And so we lived downtown. We lived Cliff Drive. So for people that are familiar with Santa Barbara, it's like one of the main roads that comes down to the actual downtown strip. And so I got a skateboard for my birthday when I was 16. So I took it with me and I would longboard down to the restaurant to work.
That's like the dream.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no reason to drive. Parking is hard in general in Santa Barbara, but then also you like pay for parking. I'm a broke college student, all these things, whatever.
Longboard it is.
Would take my skateboard everywhere. My 4Runner would sit in the driveway at my apartment and just kind of like cruise around or walk or do whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, was there, had like a couple different jobs. Community college, I enrolled and I started off doing administration of justice classes. Okay. Because
why?
I don't know. There was part of me when I was growing up that I wanted to be a cop.
I think, who you are, we're going to get into. I feel like anybody in that path, in that lifestyle, it's in the cards at some point.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just start here, get some classes under my belt, see if I like it. And I did. It was cool. And then I switched over to marketing, which is completely the opposite. And I'm like, I should get, my marketing degree because I wanted to be, and again, how random of a person I am sometimes. I want to be a photographer for Thrasher Skateboard Magazine.
Why not?
That's what I came up with next.
I mean, that would be a badass job, though.
I know. So I'm like, all right, well, I should have a marketing degree to go with it, get into photography. Because I got into photography, like, in high school. Not very good at it, but I was doing it and I'm like, okay, this could be a really cool job, network, meet people. And I did. I met someone down there that was a photographer for, I don't know if it's, how they have Trans World Motocross? Okay. It was like the skateboarding version of that magazine.
Got it.
And so I was like, okay, we'll talk to him a little bit, got set up with another guy who owns like Arbor, which is a big company now, Arbor skateboards and snowboards and stuff. They're based out of there. So anyways, like that didn't work out. And then I'm like, I want to be a personal trainer. So then I did the online and I got a job at 24-Hour Fitness before that on State Street in Santa Barbara.
Really?
And I wasn't a trainer because I didn't have my things done yet.
Your certs and all that?
Yeah. But I'm like, okay. So I started working there.
This is such a college kid, life.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Went to a lot of parties, met a lot of cool people.
What was the atmosphere coming from Northern California
to down there?
And I mean, was it did you fit right in or were you just, how did that go?
Yes and no, because like where I grew up, it was so small and it's a small like farm town and grew up riding dirt bikes and being outside all the time and doing that kind of stuff. Yep. And then going down there, it was like beach mode, which is cool because I love the beach and I love the ocean. But it was definitely different for me being in a city because to me, that's a big city.
Yeah.
And so it was an adjustment to getting used to like everything is a one-way street.
Yep.
You have to pay for parking here.
Nothing
you have to drive
is free.
here. Yeah.
Nothing.
You have to drive here, do this, do that. Like if I wanted to go to the mountains, it's like a drive to get up there, which I did a couple times. It was cool. But no, I feel like I fit in. I kind of have like a beachy hippie side to me a little bit, like the way that I am. And so it was fun, like going to all the like reggae concerts and meeting people and meeting these bands and going to these parties and cruising around with my Rastafarian colors on everything. I swear, I still have this bag. It's in my car. I got it when I was 16. It's a leather bag, almost like a I don't even know what you would call them, but it's like a purse almost, but it's like a big leather one and it's got Rasta colored straps on it. Okay. I still use it to this day. So I have like that whole side of me too. And I ended up meeting, do you know any of the bands like Iration, Pepper?
I probably am familiar because she hates it, but I'm huge into like the reggae music. Okay. Drives her nuts because when we do all of our hunting road trips, like that's
what you want to listen to.
That's all I just cruise and vibe to it. So I'm sure I just put it on like
I'm sure you've heard their songs.
Yeah.
I ended up I was at which concert was I at? Pepper, Sublime with Rome, and Cypress Hill.
Damn,
it was
a badass lineup.
It was badass. And I met at the time he was with Pepper, now he's with Iration. Met their manager.
Okay.
And then I ended up babysitting his dog for the rest of the tour in my apartment. And then he was like, okay, I'll put you on the list for any of the concerts that you want to get into.
Thanks for watching my dog.
Yeah, thanks for watching my dog. And so I was like, hell yeah. So I literally was going and seeing like Iration, The Expendables.
So he traded you just dog watching for all the concerts?
Yeah. Or even after I left, I would text him or he'd be like, hey, let me know if you're going to be in the area, whatever. Like, he got me in to go see them when they were playing at a big reggae fest in Lake Tahoe. Mm-hmm. I was just like, hey, I'm going to be there. He's like, cool, I put you on the list. Just for taking care of his baby.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I would.
Yeah, right.
Dogs are kind of important.
They're very important.
Kind of important.
I mean, mine's, my baby, so
Life,
I get it.
I'm with you.
But yeah, so just like super random things all the time.
So you're all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is... You meet so many different people in life, and then you get the ones that are like, like went to college for 4 years and I was in a sorority, and and then you get this other half of people that are like, I was just peace, I'm out, and they just went with it, and they end up being the coolest, like wildest people you've ever hung out with in your life.
Just a lot of experience.
Did you go through a dread stage?
A little bit, but here's the difference. Mine was because I started off in wildland fire.
Okay.
And I would just be like, fuck it, I'm not brushing my hair, I'm not doing anything.
I can see that.
And so same thing when I would always go in the ocean and get out, I would just have like cool like beachy waves from the salt water, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna run it and like not wash my hair for 7, 8, 9 days, I don't care. And so that was like my version. I didn't have full-blown dreadlocks, but I definitely had some tangles I had to cut out with scissors.
That's our youngest. She is it's a nightmare with her. It is an absolute nightmare. Like, people talk about, like, horrible kids. I'll take her all day long with her hair flaws. Like, she's just doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. Doesn't care. It could just be this giant clump, and here we go to dinner. Yep. And we're like, hey, honey, like, you gotta...
You should brush your hair.
She's like, I'm good. We're like, no. And then you have her older sister. It's like, everything's perfect. And, it's just like, it's hilarious. Yeah. Oh,
so funny.
Polar opposites. So... You're going to all the concerts.
Doing all the things.
I mean, you're just living life at this point.
Yeah, I had a great time down there, and I was only there for a year and a half.
All this is happening in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. It was crazy. But I left, and I went up north for a little bit. I went back up north, but I went to Redding, because at the time, that's where my dad lived.
Okay.
And so that was my first experience living in Redding. Finished the personal training cert, and then... I got a job at a gym up there, and I was only there for a little bit, and then I was like, peace, bounced back to Mendocino County, and because it's one county over from where my mom is.
Okay.
So I went back there and went to EMT school. I was like, I want to be an EMT now. Mm-hmm. Didn't finish college. whatever. I just like left
Yeah.
with however many credits I had from 3 semesters or whatever it ended up being. So I'm like, I want to be an EMT because I grew up going to Supercross every year. That was our family vacation, was let's go to Oakland Supercross until they moved it to San Francisco or
No
wherever.
kidding. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I want to be one of those people on the Asterix medical crew on the side.
Yep.
So I can get like all these hot dirt bikers and fix them up when they fall and break their ankle or something.
Running up, like, hey.
So stupid. This is me at 19 years old. I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen.
At least trying to line it up.
Yeah.
So, okay, I could get it.
So I went to the EMT program and I met a couple guys in there that were super cool and they worked for CAL FIRE at the time. Mm-hmm. They're like, have you ever thought about doing that? And I was like, I have no idea. Nobody in my family does fire. Mm-hmm. I have no clue of like the first thing that I would do or like what that even means.
They're like, get an EMT license.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I'm here getting my EMT.
Yeah.
So ended up becoming really good friends with a couple of them. And then they're like, you should really think about taking the, it's called the CAL FIRE Basic Academy. It used to be called the 67 because it was literally only like 67 hours. And then they bumped it up now. This was 10 years ago. So I don't know how many it is now, but yeah, that was it. And so I'm like, all right, yeah, actually that sounds kind of fun. You know, like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. So before I do that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to move to South Lake Tahoe. So I moved to South Lake Tahoe after the EMT program's done. And I go to that college and I start taking fire science classes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a waitress at State Line Brewery. So I'm slinging beer and I'm getting some fire courses done.
God, you are such on path to be okay.
Yeah.
You were destined for this.
So I get there and I'm doing those classes and I'm working. And it was like the first year that it was like a shitty snow year. Okay. Because I grew up snowboarding and like I still to this day, I go snowboarding every winter. It's one of my favorite things.
Same.
And it's like, okay, I'm living in Tahoe. There's no snow still, but it's beautiful in the summertime. There's so many things to do. I almost love Tahoe more in the summertime.
Tahoe's beautiful.
Yes. Year round.
Beautiful.
There's things to do. It's nice. It's great.
Perfect weather.
But yeah, so then I'm there doing that thing, and then my grandma gets really sick. So she ended up getting brain cancer and having a brain tumor.
Oh, damn. Sorry to hear that.
So she needed like some help. Like the family was all, okay, let's help. It's basically, it was just like my mom, my stepdad at the time, and then my mom's sisters, and everybody was like helping take care of grandma. And so I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll move home. I'll drive her to some chemo appointments, you know, things like that.
Good for you. Like, how many grandkids?
Thank you. Does
Enough?
she have?
Were you the only grandkid, or was she actually getting a lot of stuff? Okay, cool. Okay.
I've got a handful of cousins. I would say there's like a solid 5 of us that were there for this, like in and out. Yeah. And so I was like, whatever, I'm gonna go home and do that. And then I'm like, well, I should probably be doing something else too while I'm gonna be here. So I got a job.
Did you finish EMT school, or did you dip out?
I did.
Okay.
I finished it before I went.
Okay.
So then I go back and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a job just waiting tables until I get my fire stuff done. So I just worked at a sports bar in town and then flipped a coin.
Literally?
Literally. I flipped a coin and I'm like, am I going to go to the fire academy or am I going to go get my phlebotomy?
You flipped a coin on your career or your next life choice.
Yeah.
You literally...
Yeah, I was like, which one? And I was like, fire academy. I'm like, thank God I did not go get my phlebotomy and become a nurse or something. Like, I would have not done well. Yeah. So I'm like, all right. So I apply for the CAL FIRE Basic Academy. Get in. I'm like, yes, thank God. So it's like,
is it pretty competitive?
Not really up there. Okay. It's not that hard. The Firefighter 1 Academy that I did after, those are more competitive. Okay. So I went and did, it was Friday, Saturday, Sundays was the CAL FIRE Basic. So I waited tables the rest of the time. And then I would go on the weekend and I would do the academy until it was done. And it was like 4 weekends. Oh, and I had it done. So graduated. And then at the time with CAL FIRE, what you did was you put in applications for whatever unit that you wanted to work in.
Oh, okay.
I sling applications to every single unit in the state.
So you're ready to go.
Yeah.
You didn't care.
I don't care. I just want a job. I just want to get in. I don't care where I go. So I interviewed, I think, in like 6 units. And Mendocino.
Are units kind of broken into counties?
Yeah.
And sections throughout the state? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So like basically, like where I ended up working was Mendocino unit, which was my favorite.
Okay.
And so that's where I did my CAL FIRE Basic Academy.
Okay.
So the captain that was in charge of my academy is the one that hired me.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So you already had some relationships there?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and the guys that I met in my EMT class, they all worked in the Mendo one.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, ended up getting hired there, thankfully, because it was amazing, and I loved it, and I miss it still.
Really?
So much.
What's the academy like? Is this physical, or is this just like the intro?
So, this one is just the intro. This
Okay.
one's like a super fast pace. Let's get them their basic wildland certs.
Okay.
Let's go do hose lays. Let's show them how to cut line, like that kind of stuff.
Got it.
It was not hard.
Okay.
So then the Firefighter 1 Academy, they're all different. And I went and got my Firefighter 1 probably my 3rd season with CAL FIRE. Because at the time when I got hired, it was like I didn't even have a real fire academy. I hadn't taken my test to get my EMT license yet.
Oh.
So I was literally, like, they call it like a first responder, whatever the hell it is. It's like very basic. And then my basic wildland, and I got a job. You cannot do that anymore.
Really?
I don't even think in the last 5 years, I don't think you can do that.
Really?
No. So I did it, got in, worked a couple seasons, went and got my Firefighter 1, which is a lot harder. That's where it starts, like paramilitary and doing the push-ups whenever somebody fucks up and doing this.
Very military.
And, yeah.
This is what you like, what you would imagine.
Yes.
Okay.
Like having your uniform perfect and pressed and your boots shined and your
You're
hair
in the
has
big
to be,
leagues now.
Yes.
Okay.
So doing all that stuff.
How is that? Let's break that down, especially as a woman, because we were kind of talking about before.
Yeah.
Like, it fascinates me. I love talking to women that like join the military, cops, firefighters. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I know the person who you like. This is your path. There's no way you could sit in an office. I mean, you would die. There's a certain like I'm one of those. Like my wife, she knows. Like I could, if somebody gave me all the money in the world to sit,
You couldn't do it.
call people, I would. No way. I don't care. There's no money in the world for locking me in a cage. Mm-hmm. So I get it. So you show up. How many other women are there at this? Do you call it a fire academy?
Yeah, fire academy.
So how many women are at this fire academy?
Just me.
You're the only one.
I think we started with one more and she didn't make it after the first week. I'm pretty sure.
So, I mean, is that intimidating?
A little bit, but
Or are you just like, fuck it, I'm here
no,
and I know
don't
what I'm
care.
capable of?
Yeah, I just try to show up and do my best, and I'm like, this is what I want to do, and I chose to be here, so I'm gonna do like my thing, and I'm gonna run it, and hopefully I do a good job. Like,
so how many students are in this class starting?
I think this was my first academy, so I think we started with like 31 and ended with like 27.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
And it was definitely challenging, but it was fun because I already had worked in wildland for 3 seasons.
So you have knowledge.
Yes.
Which
but
helps. Does that help a lot?
It helps a lot, but it's also like the unit I worked in was very forestry, old school, like, which is why I loved it. Because you're literally only pretty much going to vegetation fires.
No structures.
No.
Okay.
Like the only structure fires I went to with CAL FIRE when I was in that unit, they were like, it's so rural and you're in the middle of nowhere that it's like burned down by the time you get there.
So this academy is like firefighter.
Yes.
Like
structure.
You're running on an engine.
Yes.
You're out of a firehouse.
Yes.
In CAL FIRE, is that more seasonal? Or I mean, I've worked with CAL FIRE because when we used to run big utility projects, they were always there. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they really ramp everything up. But then you see all the trucks headed here in the summertime. They bring all the CAL FIRE guys here. Is that the difference of the two?
Yes, it just depends on the unit.
Okay.
Because like I said, where I was, it was like very, very what we call Schedule B forestry. Mm-hmm. It's like you're only running Type 3 engines, wildland rigs, dozers, helicopters, airplanes, stuff
That's
like
all
that.
pretty badass stuff.
It's great.
Okay, I feel like we might have blown over that then.
So I'll tell you more about that.
Okay.
But you can go to another unit. Like if you go to Riverside Cal Fire, it's like Riverside Metro. Like they've got contracts. They do type 1s. They do like regular structure fire.
Got it.
That kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it really just depends on where you are.
Okay.
So yeah, did that first fire academy. It was tough, but I had fun. And I used to have more of a, I've always been really hard on myself, and I've always been like my number one like critic. And if I fuck up, don't worry about yelling at me and making me feel bad for it, because you won't make me feel worse than I make myself feel.
Okay, that's fair.
So I operated like that for a long time, and I've gotten way better about it because it's like one of my personal things I need to work on, especially in my job and career and whatever.
Yep.
So
You're your own worst critic.
yeah. So had fun, met some cool dudes. I actually went back and I instructed at that fire academy for like 3 semesters after I graduated.
No shit.
Yeah, which was really cool.
Are you learning so much more as an instructor?
Yes.
Okay.
And they had no women, so it was like really cool to come back and see.
Were there more women starting to pick up during these classes, or is it like dominantly male?
It's dominantly male. Like you'll get a couple that come in here and there, but like when I got hired with Cal Fire and I was working there, it was the first, I don't know, there's probably like 7 or 8 of us women that worked in the entire unit spread out.
Really?
Yeah.
How big's a unit? How would you describe a unit?
So Mendocino County is very large, and we had one of the bigger units just due to acreage, kind of with the forests that were there. But you could go to like Humboldt was like very comparable, I guess. And then you could go to LNU, which is Lake Sonoma Napa. So now you're putting those massive units together, and they've got hundreds, thousands of people that work for that unit.
No kidding.
And then go to my unit, and it's like however many stations. I don't even remember. There's like 10. And like most of them are like double engine houses. So however many people on the shifts and that kind of thing.
Significantly smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and there was like 8 of us, whatever. And I ended up working with, so we went on my first experience, my first strike team ever with them.
What's a strike team?
So it's when there's a fire and they're like immediate need strike team, 5 type 3s or whatever they're asking for.
Okay.
And so we roll out, and it was the summer that it was like the Rocky Fire and all the fires in Lake County, the Valley Fire, like all the things that were burning down my hometown, my home area, Lake County.
So you're watching your own hometown burn.
Yes. So that first summer, I spent most of my time working in that unit.
Okay.
And then like the backside of the unit towards like Vacaville area. So anyways, we go on this strike team.
How long, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. How long from graduation, you did the instructor first, or did you go straight?
No. So I did the 67, the basic, got a job, and then worked 3 seasons before I got laid off because it's seasonal.
Yep.
And then went and did that fire academy, and then was instructing.
Okay.
So this is my very first season with Cal Fire.
Got it.
And we go on a strike team, and they put you up in hotels. So you work 24 hours on, 24 hours off, and you get put up in hotels. That's the state contract.
Okay.
So we go, and they're like, oh, there's 2 girls on this strike team out of the 30 people or however many people we had.
So that's nice. So you're getting another woman roommate.
But everybody's like, oh, how's this going to go? They're going to come out with like black eyes because we got to share a room, and they're girls, and they might fight, whatever. Just men being dumb. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And so
right.
they like drama.
Yeah.
And so
in our defense, women can be crazy.
I know. And I'm like,
we like to sit back. It's like, you sit back and just watch the show sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had like shit roommates on strike teams before. Like, I know it's real.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because her and I had never met.
Okay.
And we go in, and we're similar people in some way, but in other ways we're not at all. And we became like best friends.
Okay.
And everybody was like,
which is the perfect scenario.
Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my God, they're getting along. Like they're hanging out. Like she's jumping on my engine to go get food in town. Like my crew, because she wants to hang out with us.
Yeah.
Because my crew is like the most fun crew on the strike team.
Okay.
And, to this day, her and I are still like very, very, very good friends.
Cool.
Like I go visit, neither one of us work for the state anymore, but I go visit her still. I go stay with her. She sends me photos of her baby every day. I get
Good for
baby
you.
pictures.
Okay.
So this is like a
So
really cool.
it worked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that doesn't always happen.
Hell no.
And so I've had my run-in with other women in the fire service that don't like me for whatever reason, or try to cause issues, cause drama, or just, they're not friendly, or, oh, well, I'm here and I should be the only one. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
We have a job.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
Exactly. I'm like, how do you think all these other men operate?
Have you run into, I mean, I don't know obviously how many women you've worked with over the years, but do you feel the ones that have the problem are the ones that are like, I am woman, hear me roar, and like they have to like try, they're out there to prove something instead of just be like, hey, we have a job, let's just do this job and get it done. We're all here to do it.
Yeah.
Are they the problem ones?
I think so.
Because I ask because my job in the military, we were 100% male. There was no, but anytime we were ever attached or we had attachments to us, all the problems came from the women were the ones that were like, I can do this just like you, or if not better. And it's just like, we just have a job. Let's just get the job done. And nobody's here to prove anything. But it was always the ones that had to prove it.
Yeah.
Always ended up being the most drama. Always ended up being the first ones to quit. They never lasted the longest.
Yes.
So do you see that a lot?
Yes. I would say like 50-50.
Okay.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I think that there's women who can work together and be supportive, and where I currently work now in my current department, there's literally only, I think there's 10 of us in the entire department, and I only don't get along with one of them.
Really?
Which is like really good statistics.
Yeah.
And so
to throw 10 women in a job and yeah,
like,
that's probably unheard of.
Yeah, we get along great, and
that's good.
Yeah, but anyways, like
first
back
call.
to
your first call.
Yeah, okay, so let's go like first day on the job with CAL FIRE. I'm like, I'm showing up an hour early because I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And my captain's like, good, you're early. You want like an hour of overtime? And I was like, yeah. And so he's like, okay, get on the engine. We got to go check this fire in Leggett or whatever.
You're like, this is dope. I just got an hour overtime.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, cool. So
I'm showing up 2 hours
get on the engine.
Early.
Like I said, like no idea what I was doing. Like didn't know, oh, you should go inside and like grab some food real quick or like pack a lunch or whatever. Make a sandwich. I had no idea.
You just jump on.
I just jumped on, threw my gear on. We go out there. We're hiking around. We're just like mopping up because the fire was done. It was like 100 acres or something the day before. Like nothing crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm learning how to do this. I'm learning like what mopping up means. I'm learning what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to look for, all these things.
Is mopping up like going through and looking for hot spots and turning things over and all that good stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And so then it comes time to eat, and I was like, damn, I don't have any food. So that was my first experience with an MRE.
So how was that? What MRE was it?
I don't remember. I wish I could tell you, but
oh man,
I was like first day on the job, and this is
at least they had an MRE for you.
Yeah, all the engines always do. So I was like, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah,
and I probably could have went without eating that day.
Now are you like sitting there like looking around like, man, these guys got some good food.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, they made sandwiches, and I'm eating an MRE. But it was like cool to experience that.
Yeah.
And to have that be my first day, like obviously it was a good enough memory that it stuck with me.
Were you like, okay, I can get behind this after the first day? You're like, okay, this was fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's good. Could you imagine going out there and be like, I fucked up?
Yeah. Because then I would have to quit, which would suck because I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
So, and then I would have to find something else to do. But yeah, no, I loved it. I struggled in the beginning. I had a lot to learn, obviously, because I kind of just like got thrown into it, and they're like, okay.
Which sometimes is the best.
I think so. I think it's really good like to be uncomfortable, and it's really good to have challenges and things that you need to work for, and like
forces you to adapt very quick.
Exactly. And figure it out, and like work through these things, and that's how you gain experience. I truly believe in fire in general. Like you only get better with experience. You can train and do everything all day long, which is great too, because training builds like good habits and things, for your memory in certain situations when it's like you have 5 seconds to make a decision.
Yeah.
Fall back on training for the most part. But I think that you're only going to get better and have more like slides in your tray,
Yep.
the more experience, the more fires you run.
Because I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but like your world, nothing is the same. Every single
No.
call is different.
So dynamic.
Yep.
Literally. And we always overuse that word dynamic, but it's true. Every day is something different. And so
Which makes it probably so much fun.
it does. Yeah. Especially for somebody like me that bounces around a lot and is always like being a gypsy and doing the things.
Do you get bored easily? Is that why you feel like you move around a lot?
Yeah, I get bored. I hate like sitting down, sitting still. And I'm like, okay, what's next? I want to learn how to do this. I want to do that.
So
and
this
like,
is the perfect job for you.
yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. So after that, you know, started going to fires, started getting more experience, having fun. Like I said, still struggling, still having a hard time. Like, okay, it's hard work. Like wildland fire is hard work. It's all hard work, but it's like
You're carrying everything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
as soon as you get out of that truck, everything you have or need is on you.
yeah. You make sure your pack's good to go. So your web gear is full, like water, food, fusees to start a fire if you need it. What else? Like small hose and everything like this, like a mop-up kit. I used to like shove it in the back of my web gear, and then you got a fire shelter and you have like all your safety stuff in there too.
Okay.
And you kind of just modify it to what you think you need. And then honestly, like as time goes on too, and you get more experience, that's another thing that changes is your pack.
Oh, I bet.
Because you're like, I don't need this.
Does it get a lot lighter?
No,
No?
mine got heavier.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
I would
mine
not
got
have guessed
heavier
that.
because I was like, I don't want to not have all these things.
Yeah, could have used that last time. And then
That's literally me with my hunting pack too.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Until I did like my first really shitty pack out with an animal and all my gear, and you have to go back and make 2 trips. That's when I was like, I don't need any of this shit. I'm like, I could have been fine without it.
Yep.
I brought way too much food. I brought way too many clothes. I'm like, I didn't even change. I'm staying the same shit the whole time I'm out here.
6 pairs of socks?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, it's too cold to change. I don't want to do that.
yeah, why do I have 3 sets of pants?
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
it. I've been there.
So it's like the same type of situation. And then, you know, you got your pack on, and then you have a hose pack on, which has three sticks to 1.5 inches, which is the standard for wildland.
How heavy is this?
I think one pack of wildland, I think it's 50 pounds. So then it's like 50 pounds plus your pack, which when I was on the helicopter, my pack was 30, 40 pounds. And so I imagine before that, it was probably like 30.
So you're pushing 80 pounds-ish.
Plus a hand tool. Or I was dumb. I used to put a hose pack on the front and the back.
You had 100 pounds of hose on you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was like, I can carry this up the hill. I don't want to go back and get another one. I was like, I'll just put it in 4 low and go up this hill right now. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
That's miserable. I mean,
yeah.
okay, with that though, how far are you carrying these things?
It just depends.
I mean, are you going miles or?
I've done 10,000 foot hose lays, 12,000 foot hose lays.
What?
Yeah. So it depends on what you're doing. If it's live and you're putting hose on the ground for active fire and you're actively fighting fire with it, it's literally you're just trying to wrap the fire with hose. And so you're dropping hose as you go.
And you're going back to the truck and getting more? How does that work?
If you need it, or other engines are bringing it up. So,
and you're just hooking, and they're just daisy chaining in a way, right? Is what I guess I would call it.
Yeah, you just hook the couplings up and you keep going. And if it's like I said,
10,000 feet of hose.
Yeah.
Strung through the mountains.
Yeah. So typically, if you're doing something like that, it's because they're like, either you need it as contingency or, hey, we need to wrap the fire. Because that's like,
what's wrap the fire?
Means get line and hose all the way around it. Because then it can be not necessarily contained, because containment goes up as you mop up and do all those things.
Okay.
But yes, you can say
Contained.
like fire's contained.
How the fuck are you guys I mean, some of these fires are
Massive. So that doesn't always happen because they are so big. Yeah.
How often does the hose get just completely eaten up by the fire?
It happens.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's not good line, not good wet line that's put in, or not good hand line, or kind of just like sneaks through, it could be little things too that carry it, like grass or just like pine needles or something like that, you know. It can get through and then it'll start like skunking around the fire. It'll burn the hose. It'll make another little spot, whatever. Like, it does happen. It's not like they're all perfect.
That I can't fathom this. Like,
Yeah.
they're stringing that much.
I remember the last one that I did was on the Dixie Fire, and that was, 3 years ago, I think.
Dixie was massive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That one, yeah, I think it was 3 years ago. I remember one of the last shifts we had on the fire, which it was like out in the area we were in. But again, they're like, we need hose on the ground.
So the reason for the hose, I mean, are they actively fighting the fire with it, or is this they're coming in and then there's like a stump on fire and they're spraying it out and they're rolling over shit? And is that what they're cleaning up with?
Yes.
Or are they out there actually like ahead of it trying to get shit hosed down?
So it just depends. It just depends on what part of
Wind
the fire
and
you're
where
on.
it's burning and
yeah,
how it's burning?
I put hose on the ground like dry around black. It's not burning. But that's what they want you to do. So you do it. And it's part of the contingency and all that.
Really?
That's how the state operates with their fires. Is everything has to have hand line and hose around it.
Does that make sense?
Not all the time, in
Okay.
my opinion. Like, there are now, seeing what I see now and experiencing what I experience now and how things are different in my current department. Like, we don't put hand line around our vegetation fires all the time.
Okay.
If it needs it, they will. But if it's like a small, you're like, oh, I caught it with 100 feet or 200 feet or whatever it is. Like, it's a small spot. It's like a 50 by 50 spot. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put hose around it. You're just going to make sure it's out.
Got it.
And then you're going to leave. So it's like very situation dependent. But to answer your question, if you're like actively putting in wet line and you're actively fighting fire and they're just extending it, people can come behind you and you can hook up in the couplings. Mm-hmm. So they're all supposed to have T's in the middle. So you hook up and then you can have your mop-up kit, your smaller hoses
That
and
can
everything.
string straight into
yes.
it. Okay.
And then you can go out however many feet you need to. Because they'll give you a plan at base camp in the morning and be like, we want mop up 300 feet in. So then you go and you're like, hey, I got 300 feet in. And
so edge of fire, they want 300 feet in. So you're coming in behind and going 300 feet in?
Yep.
And how often? I mean, that's all part of the morning brief. So like every 1,000 feet, we want 300 feet in kind of deal. Is that how they would break it down?
Yep. And sometimes it's very vague. They're just like, we want you to go to this part of the fire and do this. You know, hey, just mop up whatever.
Okay.
And then it's kind of up to like our strike team leader or whoever to be like, okay, this is our plan. And then you just bounce around and do that all day. And that's mostly what you do on those fires if you're on a Type 3 engine. You just mop up and
on the scale of shit to like awesome job. Mm-hmm. How does this rate when you're doing mop? Would you rather be actively fighting it or would you rather be mop up?
I would rather be actively.
Why?
It's more fun.
Okay.
And it feels like you're doing something more useful.
Okay.
But it all needs to be done anyway.
For
so
sure.
it's kind of just part of the job. Like it's just mopping up is not fun. But if you have a good crew and you have fun people that you're working with, and we're like, okay,
that makes a difference.
It makes a difference for everything. So you can be out there and you're like, cool, we're having fun, we're hiking around. And that was one of my favorite things about Wildland Fire is you're hiking and seeing all these amazing places that no one else goes.
You get to scout for hunting and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
And sheds.
I was just going to ask. I have buddies here that are like, hey, dude, you should put in for this unit. We just got out of a fire. There's giant bowls in here.
There's a unit.
Don't mention units.
I'm not going to. It's not here. It's back home.
It's in Colorado.
I was on a fire out there, and we saw huge mule deer. Massive. Some of the biggest bucks I've ever seen in my life in person, like for California. Definitely, by far. And my crew, it was a grass fire, and so it was out. So I'm like, let's go hike. Let's go PT hike. Let's go do all these things because like there's some people who are like, we're just going to sit at the engine all day and eat and do nothing. I'm like, no. So we go and we hike up the hills and do all the things and we start finding sheds.
Because it burns and they're just there, right?
They're just there. So
I have buddies that have burn ranches and they shed hunt their properties religiously, but then they'll burn it, do a control burn, and they'll find twice as many. Yeah. And they're out there all year and they just disappear.
Don't see them. Yeah.
So you're just cleaning house.
Yeah. I got a really cool picture of my crew from that fire. All of us holding like 20, 25 sheds that we all found. We like laid them all out and we're all holding them and We took a
That's the way
picture
to
of
do
us,
it.
and then I was like, well, I'm going to start putting in for this unit because
For sure.
this is badass. But that's how I found, that spot. And so that was cool. But
You talked about helicopter.
yes.
How much helicopter work have you,
I spent 2 years on Helitack.
okay, you just breezed right by that. So, Helitack, you call it?
Yeah. So it's with CAL FIRE. So I did my first 3 on the engine, and then my third one, I was going to try out to be an alternate for them.
Okay.
But the day I got laid off, I went and did the fire academy. And then the day I graduated, I came back the next day to work.
Interesting.
And so I missed, they call it BHOS and air rescue, basic helicopter operations and safety, and then air rescue. It's 2 weeks. It's one of each. And I couldn't do it because I was in the academy. So I had talked to the captains while I was there, and I'm like, obviously I want to be an alternate. This is my goal, whatever. But it couldn't happen. So they're like, there's always next year. So continue training with them, continue PTing with them.
Yeah.
Like when they do their air rescue, you can just go up there and be a victim.
So this is a once a year class, and if
Yeah.
you miss it, that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So I just continued to politic with them, as we called it, and just remain like friends and try to be a part of like, hey, we're going to go PT or let's do this or whatever. So I ended up getting a spot the next season. So it was my first season up there. And it's hard. It's, the PT is like, we're going to go do this 5 or 6 mile run in town, or we're going to go run up Black Bart, which is like that. And, we're going to go do this hike. We're going to do that, but we're going to go fly out, get dropped off. First, we're going to go do a workout in the gym, and then we're going to fly out and get dropped off in the woods, and we're going to cut line for like 4 hours. So that's what you do.
And cutting line is you're building little trenches, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many different ways you can do it.
So like little mini fire breaks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so since when you're on a helitack crew and you're on a hand crew like that, it's smaller. And so it's not like a hot shot crew where they have, 19, 20, however many people. Theirs is what we call finish line. And then ours is like scratch line for the most part. And
so you're kind of directing and pointing and then they come in and widen it. And...
Sometimes.
Okay.
It just depends on, if it needs it or not.
This is fascinating how all this works.
It's crazy. And there's a lot that goes into it too. But yeah, helitack is like scratch line pretty much for the most part, or firing, lots of firing.
What's firing?
So like, what like backfiring operations are?
Like
Have
a
you heard that?
backburn, like you're coming, starting the fires behind?
Yep.
Are you doing the...
Drip torches. My favorite move is to take the McLeod, which looks like a rake.
Okay.
And to go grab a chunk of fire or just light it and then grass and drag. And that's my favorite move of firing. But drip torches are fun too. But you can do that. You can do flare guns. They're like flare guns.
So you're just flying and you're just shooting flares out of it, or do you land and get out and start them?
You land and you use the guns.
Okay.
They're like berry pistols is what they call them.
Yeah.
But out of the helicopter, I have done we call them like the ping pong balls. Have you ever seen those?
No.
Yeah, they're injected, and then we drop them out of the helicopter, and they set it on fire. So like if there's a big area or somewhere that's like super steep and shitty and no one can get to it, or they're like, we just want this burned, we don't care how you do it, we'll go hook that machine up, and there's only like 2 of us that get to be in there, but I've gotten to do it. And we take the doors off or pull the doors back, and then I get put in a harness, and then the seats are up, and you basically just make sure that the machine's doing what it's supposed to do, and
it's just dropping the
little ping pong balls, lighting the forest on fire.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think the government uses that type of shit to start these fires that are all over the place?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm a hardcore conspiracy theory.
So am I.
But like you see like these maps of these fires all like through Canada. Like how the fuck did like 10 fires just ignite and like within a day or two of each other all over?
Yeah.
Do you think they could just...
If they really wanted to, they could do whatever they want.
Have you ever thought that? I mean, is that an option? You look at Oregon a couple years ago when like, I guarantee it was like Antifa and shit starting all the fire. But like, or do you think the government gets on it and helps with... I'm one of those, like they're pushing this climate control or, global warming shit. And I feel like, but I've always wondered like, how would they do it? And
I think they've made fires worse. And I think that they've caused fires to run longer and get bigger.
Really?
Yeah. I do. That's one of my
Interesting.
theories.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I have so many questions, like conspiracy wise. Anyways, okay, we're lighting we're lighting the forest on
Yeah.
fire. Well, because my thing is, you have these fires. You got Cal Fire, and we see a lot of you up here in the summertime because you guys are obviously supporting all of us. One of my biggest questions that I would love to get answered one day is, why the fuck aren't we training our National Guard, and why isn't every pilot on shifts? And maybe they might be, but I feel like we have this whole entire National Guard that are here to like support everything that's
Yeah.
going on.
They go out.
Do they?
I've worked with
But like you
them.
hear about like these guys are like, we're so undermanned. We don't have enough we don't have enough birds in the sky. We need more birds. We need more. And it's like, then you could drive by mountain and the whole fields are
It's
full.
there.
Why
Yeah.
aren't we putting bags under them? And we just have Black Hawk pilots just rotating. I mean,
Yeah.
they're doing it overseas. And I feel at the same time, it's great training as well. It's keeping our
Totally.
pilots fresh. I can see birds go down. Planes. I saw a video of a plane come in, and I don't think it was here in the U.S. And they dumped, and they like hit the edge of this like mountainside, and this whole plane just goes down, and it was done. And so like I don't think it was here in the U.S. because the guy sounded foreign in the video, but I get there's a danger aspect, and we're just putting more out there. But like these fires will burn till snowfall here. I mean, there's fires. We caught one coming back from Stanley, and a guy that I do, he was on it, and we stopped. We were going up to lunch drove up just to do a drive by one of the little scenic lookouts, and there's a fire, and we're at Stanley eating, and the whole sky, you just see the clouds just rolling over the mountain. I'm like, holy shit, it's really picking up, and we're coming through, and they're like, yeah, we're probably gonna close it down. And one of the guys, one of the firefighters there, followed me on Instagram, and he's like, if this thing shifts in any direction, we're shutting all this down. By the time we got back to the service, like we pulled the whole plug. You guys made it through. You were one of the last families to come through. And we were like, fuck, holy shit. But it's like, why aren't they pulling every pilot? And I mean, I know it's way above you political wise and all that stuff, but it always blows my mind. We have all of these resources, and we just let these fires just burn. They just like kind of try to control them in a way. That's always like been a question of mine.
It's obviously way above me.
And I know politics.
Yes, politics and money, resources. I also know that it's different in California too because of Cal Fire, the state department, and then we have Forest Service and BLM and everything too, which is the majority out here, I believe, is Forest Service and BLM. And they just play by different rules as well.
Okay.
So that is part of it. But
I'll get on all kinds of conspiracy and tangents and shit on that stuff. But so the fire crew, I mean, that's got to be, are they dropping you guys off ahead of fires, or are you just like preventive maintenance?
So
how does that work?
Okay, so here's a little scenario. I'll give you like two sides of that style of firefighting. So there's a grass fire that starts in our unit. Like, all right, load up. You get dispatched. And then I don't work there anymore, but run a certain tool complement. So your hand tools and then chainsaws. And then based on the area and the terrain and everything, like your captain or I can't even remember what they call him, but it's just a firefighter for the day who's basically like a second supervisor.
Okay.
They make the call on the tools. And so when you land, they'll say like, I don't know, 3 chinks, 2 McLeods, 1 saw, 1 pump. And that's your...
That's per person, or that's what you need to bring total?
That's what you need total.
Okay. And
so then you'll land and they'll throw it out. They'll take off. We'll all go get our shit and then get ready to go. Same with the packs too. So I worked on a Bell Huey.
Okay, yeah,
205.
Yeah. Yep.
So military surplus helicopter. And so basically they ripped everything out except the seats. And so our tools and our packs would go in the gunwale.
That's like the old Vietnam helicopters, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what they had when I started. Now they all have Blackhawks.
Which is nice.
I never got to work on one, but I love the Hueys. They were so fun, so simple, really fun to fly in. I got to sit up front. Yeah, they're cool.
Yep.
Very simple. And so like if we land, get out, have your tool complement, and then...
On you, or they go ahead and drop it off ahead of time?
No, on us.
Okay.
We all get out at the same time with everything.
Got it.
And then if you're on the bucket crew, you crawl under You go to the other side, you get the bucket out, you crawl underneath, you hook it up.
What's a bucket?
The bucket for water.
Oh, bucket crew. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then they hook
Water
it up.
drops.
So you're the ones that are setting that up as they leave. So they
Yep.
drop you off. You guys hook up the bucket, and
Yeah.
then now they're just running.
Yep.
Got it.
So depending on what
Okay.
seat and what tool, because every seat is a designated, where you sit is what tool you're on for the day.
Okay.
So if you're on the bucket crew, you're like, from what I remember, like the last two. So you're like second saw and McLeod or whatever. So you get out, and your job while everyone else is unloading the tools
It's hooking
is
everything
hooking
up.
the bucket up.
Got it.
So you drag it, hook it up, do your tests with the pilot. So you're in front of the helicopter, just making sure that the hook's working and everything on the belly.
Got it.
So then you go and you grab your stuff, and we're like, all right, here's our plan. And you go get as close to the fire as possible.
Which probably isn't always the case.
Not always doable.
What's your longest drop off?
Oh, man.
I mean, are they dropping you off miles
A
away?
while. I've done, yeah. If there's, especially if it's like lightning fires in the forest and they're hard to get to, it's just like, oh, well, you just got to hike from wherever we can find.
Oh, shit. And obviously they don't know. They're just looking and trying to find. So they locate the fire, and then what do they just start circling out?
Yep, trying to find a good landing zone. So, and we did this thing called hover steps too. So if it was too steep or the angle wasn't good or whatever it was, but they're like, okay, we can get you in right here, but you're gonna have to hover steps. So it's like a 5 to 10 foot drop, and so you're just chucking everybody's shit out, and then you get on the skid, and then you fucking very
Just jump.
carefully,
You just pray to God you're not rolling your ankle when you hit the ground?
pretty much. It's like you practice it a lot, and you practice being
Okay.
like very good, so that you're not like pushing off the skid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You
You're
have to
just
be like
stepping off.
Yeah.
Because there is a science to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's
They got
just a
that
lot of
dialed.
practice of being like as graceful as
That's
possible.
gnarly. And if you're jumping off, clearly it's not like flat. So are you landing like and tucking and rolling a little bit, or?
It's never really been that bad that I
Okay.
can remember. I do know that we've lost like a pack down the hill before. We've lost a flight helmet down the hill. Like
No
a
shit.
little roll down the
It
hill.
just starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like that kind of stuff has happened, but
That would suck. Just watching your pack just 100 miles an hour down
you're
into
like,
the
now I gotta
ravine.
go get it.
Oh no
Yeah,
shit!
you're like, I
You're-
can't leave it there.
Yeah. We'll see it a little bit, buddy.
Yep. So, yeah, so that was awesome. So, like, small fire scenario or whatever it may be, you're like, okay, we're getting as close as possible. We're going to go cut hotline right now and, like, try to put the fire out this
it.
way. And then if you have a back pump, too, and it's a grass fire, that's actually a really fun job. But
What's a back pump?
So it's a backpack full of
Sorry,
water.
I have so many. Is this like that
Yeah.
thing?
Backpack full of water.
I have a crazy story about one of
With
those,
the
but go ahead.
trombone.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
If you're on a hand crew and you're using one of these, or even if not, if you have one and you're on a grass fire and you're using it, it's actually hella fun. But before, when I was on an engine, they're like, hey, put the back pump on and go hike, 1,000 feet interior and put out the smoke. You're like, this sucks. But if you're...
It's got to be what? 20 gallons?
No, they make 5-gallon ones and 7-gallon ones.
Oh,
I believe.
okay.
We had the
Maybe, yeah,
bigger
I guess you're right. It's been a long time since I've seen one, but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So
These
that's...
have like the brass little handles
Yep.
on. Okay, I
Yep.
have the wildest story about one of
Yes.
these, but go ahead. Yeah, I gotta tell you this. You'll get a kick out of it
Okay.
since you've carried one around.
Yeah, so that's a fun part too. And you're just cutting line. You're trying to get ahead of it. You're, depending on what kind of fire it is, you're running the chainsaw. You're at the head, basically making the way for the rest of us with hand tools to come through and cut the line. And so we're trying to stop the fire. We're trying to actively put it out using hand line and the little bit of water we have, or our bucket drops or whatever. Cause
How successful is this? I
it's
obviously
pretty successful.
depends on the wind and the size and the
Yes.
and the fuel and all that. I get all that, but I mean,
It works really well.
so
And
these little crews are actually preventing quite a bit.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it works really well. It's cool. Like, yeah, there's certain fires with certain weather and stuff that it's going to blow past it.
Yep.
Or it's not going to work that well, or you're going to have to like reevaluate and go around and do something else. But like, for the most part, it's a pretty successful way to put out fire, which some people don't know, or, little insert from a grass fire I had this year, earlier this year. And I I work with, I'm what's called a rover now. I don't have a home, so I go to a different station every shift, and I work with a bunch of different people now.
Okay.
And we had a small grass fire, and I was like, fuck it. I just grabbed the hand tool because I think they were waiting on more water or something.
Yeah.
Because I used all the water that we had to just like put out the interior, and I was like, fuck it. And I grabbed the McLeod, and I just put scratch line around the ends, and it was like done. It was small. It was like a 20 by 20 spot or something.
Okay.
And my engineer comes over like at the end, and he was like, yeah, next time, you know, just like wait for more water, because like you're not going to put out a fire like that. And I'm like,
I just did.
I was like, well, that's what I used to do like for a living.
Oh, he didn't realize this?
No, because I don't tell people, I don't talk about it. Like him and I, that was like our first time ever working together.
Oh, so he just thought you were out there just winging it.
Being dumb. He's like, oh, she's fucking new here. She's dumb. She doesn't know what she's doing, whatever. And I was like,
you're like, brah.
It actually works really well.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to say something like that. I was just like, okay, that's my thing. Okay.
Roger that. Roger that. Idiot.
Cool.
I know more than you.
Yeah. So it was just so funny. And I had one guy last summer, we were doing a hose lay, and they like threw a ladder, because it was like behind these storage units, threw a ladder, jumped up on top of the storage unit, and then threw all the hose packs up there, and I just like yarded them over this fence.
Yeah.
And I have a thing for jumping fences. So I jump fences a lot at work.
Okay.
While somebody's like, oh, I'm going to cut it. And I'm like, no. And I'll just jump over it. And I'm like, throw me the hose pack. And so like I did that on this fire.
It's just that quick.
And then started doing the hose lay. We got to it. And then we were putting it out. Like our crew was there and everything. And I was doing like live fighting fire with the wildland hose. And this guy, I have no idea who he is. He works in my department. But he was just being nice and helpful. But he comes up behind me, and he's like backing me up on it. And I was like, I don't need that, number one. And then he was like, okay, like your nozzle pattern and do this and do that. And I was like, in my head, I was like, bro, I've been doing this for like 9 years at this point. But I'm not going to say anything.
No?
No.
I
was just like, oh, thank you. And then he like said something else, and I was like, I don't need your help. That's all I said.
Got it, bro. I got it.
I turned around and I was like, if there's something, I think what I said to him was, if there's something more important that you need to be doing, you can go do it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I just like get to a point.
I mean, are you guys equal, or is this like?
Yeah, he was a firefighter.
Oh yeah, fuck him then.
But
yeah.
I would never say that to a captain or somebody. But I was just like, I just don't need you.
I got it.
It was so funny, and my engineer was like with me, and him and I used to both work for the state, and we were actually friends, and he knows me and he knows my background. He looks at me and he was like, who the fuck was that guy?
Oh, so neither one of you knew?
No, I don't know.
Oh, that's
like
hilarious.
I said, he worked in our department.
Got it.
But I didn't know who he
Yeah.
was, and Nate was like, what the fuck?
Well, it probably doesn't help either that you're not like at a house or a station or where your crew truly gets to know you. I mean,
Yes.
you're a rover was the term you used, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're just showing up. I mean,
Yeah.
And then I don't know how many different shifts or teams per station. So could you go somewhere several times and you're meeting new people every single time?
Yes, because my current department that I work for,
that is wild.
Yeah. We have currently, we're like absorbing more small departments now. We're massive. And there's like, I don't know the correct number, but there's like 400 or 500 of us that work there. And there's 34 stations currently.
So you're constantly meeting. Do you prefer that, or is that like, would you rather be stationary? I mean, obviously you're a very nomadic person, and I feel your whole entire life is wild chaos. This is why I wanted you on the show. It is perfect for it. But I mean, do you like that, or would you like to have a crew that like everybody knows you? Everybody's got everybody's respect, because obviously, guys, you're gonna run into like, oh, she's a chick, she needs my backup and help. Yeah, it's got to get irritating after a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
But right now, I don't mind it.
Okay.
Because I am newer to this department. Okay. I've only been with this department for a year and a half.
Got it.
So.
Do you want to name drop it? You don't have to, but I wasn't sure.
I was thinking about that. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I can name drop my old ones.
That way we can talk shit.
Yeah. No, we'll get into that, but my new department is badass.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I am so glad I went there. But yeah, so did the helicopter for 2 years. And then
Wildest thing that happened on the helicopter. Any close calls or anything?
I was doing hoist, doing air rescue. I was on a runaway cable one time, which means that they lost like the control and it just like lowers by itself while I was hanging off of it in there.
Is it just start lowering or is this like you're falling?
It was not fast.
Okay.
But I like heard the radio traffic and it wasn't fast enough to know, but I heard the radio traffic and I was like, oh, uh-oh. I might break my legs.
You're getting hoisted out of areas?
So we doubled as an air rescue ship. So you take all the firefighting tools out
and put in like a stretcher.
Put in the hoist. And
which mounts above the door?
It mounts in the doorway of the helicopter.
How is that?
Badass. So fun.
Fuck, I don't even know where to... I had all these bullet points and I was like reading them and I'm like, there wasn't like a direction to go with you. So I was like, fuck it, we're just going to wing this one.
It's working.
So you're rescuing people?
Yes. Yeah.
How? Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you want to finish the lighting shit on fire. Real quick question.
Yes.
On these small teams, how quick are you realizing like we're not going to be able to contain this? This is bigger than us.
I feel like pretty quickly, especially with air support.
So you guys are like a little recon team in a way where you're going in, they're dropping you guys off, and you're like assessing. It's moving way faster than we can move, and all that's all coming from you guys coming out, getting dropped off.
Sometimes, yeah, especially for the first boots on the ground.
Okay,
then we're the ones who are like, okay, and then especially one captain stays. Well, this is how it was when I was there. One captain stays in the helicopter with the pilot.
And they're above you. I mean, obviously they're doing bucket runs if that's a thing.
But they're able to see, and then especially once air attack gets on scene and everything like that.
So he's helping make that call.
Yeah.
And so hey, we need backup, more crew, whatever it is.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So that's kind of like everybody plays a little part. And so at that point, you can just bounce around. They can come pick us back up, and they're like, hey, you're going to be more useful over here. So then they'll drop us off, or hey, this, hey, that. Like,
have you ever hiked your ass off to get somewhere, and they're like, yeah, we don't need you here. Then you have to hike all the way back to get picked back up?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But then again, you're getting in a helicopter, and that's always fun.
The only thing that sucks about that is that you're like, we wasted time.
Okay.
And we could have been doing something useful.
Got it.
That's literally the only like frustration I've ever had with that kind of situation.
Okay.
Is I hate feeling like I'm wasting time. I hate feeling like, oh, what we just did was stupid, pointless. But at the time, sometimes you don't know that until you're done. And you're like, well, I wish I knew.
Yeah. If I knew during it, then morale's down.
Yeah,
and you're like, fuck this. But I guess I feel like I'd rather know afterward.
Yeah.
Rescuing people.
Yeah. So
I feel that's got to be fun.
Yeah. Super fun.
What type of people are you rescuing?
It's mainly going to be because I worked by the ocean. My unit was there was coastal stations.
Okay.
The northern coast. Water rescues and like a hiker that's way out in the woods that it's going to be easier for us to go get them, or someone's like on a trail and they broke their ankle or they wrecked their mountain bike, stuff like that.
How expensive is it to get picked up by?
I have no idea.
I couldn't even imagine.
I have no idea.
They're just like, I'm lost. And then
I think if it's us that picks them up or CAL FIRE that picks them up, I believe it's a state resource. It's kind of the same if we come like put out a fire at your house or something. I never knew or got into like the money side. I have no idea.
Because I've always told myself like unless like there's bone sticking out of my leg, I'm not getting rescued.
Oh, totally.
I am crawling. I'm crawling.
There's a lot of people still that I mean I could like go on about calls I go to that I'm like I would never call 911.
I want to hear these. I guess we can get into that, but okay.
Some of those though too, I'm just like.
Where you show up and you're just like, the fuck are we here
What's
for?
What's wrong with you?
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, why are we here? I've legit been like, okay, so what are we here for?
And what's their reason?
Well, I this or my 3 days ago my back hurt and now I want to go to the hospital, or I need more medication. I need some drugs.
And they just call 911 and you guys get dispatched to go and.
Yeah. Well, that's like more so my job now. Is what that happens all the time. Or you're like.
Okay, we're gonna get into that.
Your nose is bleeding. But... I'm like, bro, I get nosebleeds. I get chronic nosebleeds all the time. So whenever I get a nosebleed call, I'm like, this fucking bitch.
You get nosebleed call?
Yeah. Sometimes they're legit, but sometimes they're not. But I've literally shown up to it. You want to know a funny one that just popped into my head?
Yes.
This was not that long ago. It was dispatched as a nosebleed. This dude wrecked his truck and hit his face on his steering wheel. I'm like, no shit, his nose is bleeding.
And they didn't call it like a
No,
wreck?
it
was
got dispatched as a nosebleed, a medical. I was like...
So you guys show up like this idiot, and then you're like, oh, he's actually okay.
Yeah.
Was it even still bleeding by that point, or
not really? It was definitely broken, but I was like, damn, this is not what I thought we were going to. And that does happen.
I cannot wait to hear these calls.
Yeah.
So when you rescue somebody, I mean, there's a guy, he follows me on Instagram. I roasted him years ago on this, and I'm surprised he still follows me, but he cut his hand. He fell and cut his hand on a rock.
Okay.
And he got dizzy and he got life flighted. And,
oh, shit.
And he's like this big hunting influencer, but it was this huge thing. And so people were just roasting him for a long time over it. I've always wanted to ask him, like, was it worth
Was it worth it?
I feel like I would literally be going into shock.
Yeah.
Before I hit my inReach button.
Yeah.
Like, just myself, I know you don't want to get to that point.
Yes.
But for me, who I like, my pride, I'm gonna be like, like my body's gonna be shutting down, and then I'm gonna hit the button, like,
and then they're gonna get there too late.
100%, 100.
Yeah,
I've accepted it. My wife's accepted it.
Yep.
I'm not gonna be like, I think I'm going. Like, there's no I think. Like, I'm making it until the point I'm not.
Yes.
Like that. And I feel like when you hear these stories about people that like how the fuck didn't he call? That would be me.
That's why.
100%. Like
Yeah.
that dude in his mind was going to make it until his body just shut down.
Yeah.
And you're not coherent enough and you don't have movement in your fingers to
Yeah.
get your inReach out
Yeah.
and make that. That's the type of person I feel like that I am. And I've been in situations where it's like, this is it. I thought it was the worst. One of the closest calls I've ever thought I was going to come to hypothermia and like legitimately like this is it was in California.
Really?
On a turkey hunt with my wife. Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was like I looked up the weather.
Where
everything.
were you? Do you remember?
I'll text it to you. We were in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
On this ranch, giant. I'm talking hundreds of 1,000-acre ranch, right? Like massive. 3-4 hours like on a 2-track to get going through fence after fence after fence, and we end up on this old homestead, most beautiful ranch I've been. There's tule elk running around, hogs, pig. It's a dream, right? And my buddy had connected. He's just like, just go out, look up the weather. It's beautiful. I was actually trying to get my turkey slam. I needed my Rio, I think was in California. Anyways, we're like hours from this camp on an ATV, and this snowstorm rolls in. It's spring, late spring. It's beautiful. It's 70 degrees. I swear these snowflakes were like size of like silver dollars. And I give my gear to my wife because I wasn't prepared for it. So I had like a light jacket, and I give her everything. I'm drenched. And this cabin that we're staying in, literally no power, no heat, nothing. We just brought like sleeping bags. They had like these old couches we were gonna crash on, and we were waking up. There's rat poison we're laying in and shit. It was wild. But I got so chilled and soaking wet, and there was no way for me to dry anything. Like I just got in my sleeping bag, butt ass naked. And I shivered and just shook all night. And it was so pitch black in this cabin, you couldn't see your hand in front of you. When we're done with this, she'll tell you this story, but that was one of those moments where I was like, I'm going to die of hypothermia here. And there was no cell phone service. Like she doesn't know how to get us out of there. Like there's so many roads and trails, and you're just going through fence and and I got drenched, and it took us hours to get back to camp. It just I'm talking, we come over the peak of this mountain, and it's like this black wall. And I'm like, oh fuck, like this isn't good. And I'm like,
I didn't prepare for this.
And it just catches us immediately. And the whole ride back, I'm just literally in a snowstorm. And it was like 70 degrees an hour before that.
That sucks.
It was wild. And it caught me.
That is California weather.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it was, so people always laugh and they joke. And after that, I bring a puffy with me everywhere I go. I got a little compressed I have like a Born Primitive one. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it says it's going to be 80 degrees. It's in the bottom of my pack.
Coming with
it's
you.
one of those things that I never leave anywhere without like a down puffy jacket just in case.
Yeah.
That was a case for that
Learning
moment
experience.
right there. Learned. I was like, I'll never trust the weather again.
Never again.
ever. But yeah. So when you rescue these people and you hoist, are you going down to them?
Yeah.
Or are you lowering like a basket or a cage, whatever it
There's
is?
always at least one rescuer on the ground. So you get on the hoist, you go down,
Okay.
and then depending on if you're going to use like a screamer suit or a cinch collar or
What's a screamer suit?
Screamer suit actually sounds not that fun, but it's the most comfortable one in my opinion. I've been in all of them. So
there's multiple ways to get lowered down.
so these are the victim harnesses.
Oh.
Because we all train on each other.
Because there's one that goes under your armpits.
That's the cinch collar, the little ring.
I feel like that's so uncomfortable.
Yes, it is.
Because
it's very uncomfortable.
You look like the kid from the Christmas Story. You're just
it's very uncomfortable.
Okay. Because all your body weight's pulling everything, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got that one, and then you've got the screamer suit, which is more of like it's more of a harness. It comes like around your arms through, and then like clips in.
Okay.
And so
through the crotch, around the legs,
Yep.
or is it just?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So there's that one, and then and both of those ones, there you attach them to yourself, to your harness. You have all your carabiners and everything set up on your own harness.
Okay.
And you attach them, and then to the cable.
Okay.
And so to the hook, and there's the Stokes basket,
which is the famous video.
Yes,
of the woman,
the famous video
of the woman just.
Yes. That I would die if that ever happened to me.
Done. I do like 2 loops on a swing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
let me die
Gnarly.
out there.
That one, you go down, and then you need another rescuer come down with you, package the patient up, and then it goes up by itself, and you have a tagline to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Because that one didn't, or they let go of it?
I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
But
all right.
You have a tagline, and then and I don't even know if that was like rotor wash for them too, of why that started happening. But yeah, tagline to control that one. And yeah, it's cool. It's like when I was on the helicopter, did not have a live rescue. They don't happen as often as you think they do in that area for us, because there's the sheriff helicopter.
Okay.
Henry 1, and they're like cowboy as shit, and they're really cool, but they'll come in and they will just snipe rescues all the time. Yeah. And that's what they do. You know what I mean?
Like, we got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they're good. And but yeah, it's like a couple of the guys I work with have gotten rescues up there. But they're like very few and far between. So we train a lot on it.
Okay.
And like I've hoisted plenty of people that I worked with or whatever, and it's just fun because I'll be like, how does it feel? You're a man, and I'm rescuing you.
Yeah, right.
I like to talk shit.
With them,
Yeah, I like to talk shit when I'm doing it. But yeah, it's so cool. It is so much fun. That entire job is so much fun, as I'm sure it sounds.
I feel like anything in a helicopter, like
anything in a helicopter is fun.
Doesn't suck.
Yeah, it's just going and flying around for the day. We're like, let's go fly over the coast and like do this, or let's go fly over the valley and look for this cinnamon bear that lives in there and like bomb the canyon. Because my pilots, for the most part, were all like ex-military older guys that flew.
So that makes
and
it
had
fun.
Experience. Yeah. So then they come over there and they're like, cool, let's drop down. Let's scare you a little bit and stuff like that.
No shit.
Yeah, it's super fun.
And how is that just luck of the draw, or is that a pretty hard gig to get into?
At the time, it was a hard gig to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you there's not a lot of women on there doing that.
No, on the crew.
Yeah.
I was the only one. And I believe I was their first one in like 10 years when I got there.
Really? Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
I had to fight hard. It was not easy. It was a struggle for me. I was at the time, workhorse. Like I said, I was like 4 low. I could put 2 hose packs on and go for a hike and be fine. But I was not fast. I was like a steady worker. Mm-hmm. And I was powerlifting at the time. And so I was a little bit heavier. I was a lot of muscle mass.
Got it.
And you can't really be like that and do that job and do well, because it's like we're running 6 miles for PT, and then we might get a fire later and cut line.
Oh my
and
God.
You have to be able to do that. And you have to be able to hike your ass off with your chainsaw and your saw pack and stuff like that. And like, there's no telling, what your day is going to be like.
Yeah.
So I struggled during the first season. I had a great time, but I struggled for sure.
Yeah.
And one of my shift partners the first season was like not very cool to me. And I remember telling him, I was like, hey man, like, I know I'm having a hard time and I'm learning, but we've all been new at something at one point. And I said, and I'm sure some of you don't want me to be here, but I got here because I earned it. So I don't really care. And it's going to turn around. So
good for you.
Yeah, I was just like, and it did. And it was great. And like, he changed the way that we interacted and everything. So I was like, I'm going to show you that I can be here and that I can do this with you guys. Like, I deserve to be here is what it was. So after my first season, I was like, I'm going to change my style of lifting. I'm going to change my style of exercise in general.
So you changed your whole lifestyle.
Everything. Hardcore diet. I lost
Really?
18 pounds.
Really?
And was extremely lean. I was running 5 days a week. I got my mile times down. Went back. I was running in the middle of the pack with everybody. Was doing like 4 or 5 mile runs at like a 7:45 average pace.
Oh shit, good for you.
Thank you. That was like the standard. And a lot of the guys I worked with were running like 7-minute miles or like some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to be at the end. I don't want to deal with this anymore. You know,
Damn,
I want to
you
be
turned
better.
it around like that. Huh?
I did.
That's cool.
Thank you. I remember coming back and they're like, holy shit. And one of the captains I worked with, he was like, I was going to make you a plate of food, but I know you like eat completely different now and I didn't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, right.
And so, so I just did that and went back and had a kick-ass second season. They even put me on first saw. And
What's first saw?
Means you're the one cutting.
Is that like the position everybody's kind of jockeying for?
It's fun.
What makes it so much fun?
I just love running a chainsaw.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think my dad put me on a blade when I was. God, we moved to New York when I was 9. I had to have been 7 or 8 when my dad put me on the first chainsaw. Like, and I just been running.
It's fun.
I could do it for days. We had an ice storm when we were kids in upstate New York, and I mean the ice storm in '98. It was wild, and I ran a chainsaw for months straight, just going to people's homes and just
tree work and stuff.
Just because everything was collapsed, all the ice brought everything down. And it was all summer homes and cottages. We hunted. A lot of people we had that would let us use their shore fronts, you know. So we always want to get in with, you know, homeowners, landowners, and all that. So my dad would just drop me off. He's like, start working on this house, and I just little kid, just stacking wood all day.
Yeah.
He'd come home or come back and pick me up, and he'd leave me a little file, some oil, little thing of oil, and some gas, and I'd just mix it, and that's all I would do all day. He'd just drop me off. That's all.
What a good
love running a blade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I look back at it now. I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking, Dad? Like 7, 8 years old with a full blade too. Like, not some little trimmer. I mean, I'm out there just
getting after it.
He still has that chainsaw to this day. I want to inherit that.
That's badass.
I told him, I was like, if you ever get rid of this chainsaw, we're fighting. So.
Yes. Good for
like,
you. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a good memory to have.
It's a steel too. I mean, that's a generational blade, you know? So I was like, you need to submit this because it's, I mean, I think he said he bought it when my sister was like 4. It was before he had that thing before I was born. He still has it to this day. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun running a blade.
Yeah. Super fun. It's just cool to be out in front, like cutting and making the path for your crew. Okay. Also is really cool. I enjoyed that, but, and I enjoyed learning how to fall trees.
There's a science to it.
Yeah, there is. And it's, you know, I've done some pretty big trees and still, do sometimes, but it's scary.
It's intimidating.
Yeah. And it is. And it's like, I have a lot of friends that are like legit fallers and loggers and stuff like that. And so I love getting to watch them and like,
and it's like butter.
Seeing them on fires and stuff. They're so good at it.
One-handed, just cut the knot, and then it's like it's nothing.
It's like an art, and like you're either good at it or you're not.
I watched a dude on, I think it was TikTok, just like last week. He falls a tree, and there's a giant wasp's nest in it.
Oh yeah.
So it's sticking straight up, like the whole pine tree comes down, but the one branch has this giant. And he's like, I'm gonna take it out, and cuts down another tree and just puts it. I mean,
right on top of it.
And I'm like, good for that, dude.
Yeah.
I was working in Angeles Crest, just north of LA.
Okay.
The Angeles Crest Forest on the Pacific Crest Trail.
Okay.
And it had burned through there, and they have a big firefighter memorial up there because I think it was like 10 years before we even took that project and that whole entire area over. A fire, it shifted, and the last crew was coming off the mountain, and the fire was moving so fast. They drove off the road and went down in the ravine, and they all ended up dying. There was a bunch of firefighters that did that.
Yep.
Well, I was running security up there because we were building helicopter pads. We were pulling wire and all that. But these tweakers were coming up there and tearing everything out of the old fire station. They're pulling all the copper.
Oh,
and,
yeah. They
and all
love
that,
their copper.
everything. And so, but we would get bored. And that fire, yeah. So at that time, that fire was 10 years prior. So all that old deadfall, every time the storm would roll through, it was dropping giant pines. Those ponderosas and shit were just falling through the road. So I had security through all the mountains. So they'd call me at 3 a.m, like, boss, we're stuck up here. So I was constantly up there just, cutting all these giant trees out of the road. So we'd get bored and I'd find these giant burnt up trees and there's nobody around. And I'm like, fuck it. And we'd just be falling. I'm talking
huge.
And they were scary. It was like,
yeah, it is.
and there'd be like, I'd have buddies watching. And I'd like try to act like I wasn't, but I'm like, oh my God, this thing is. And then when they start to go,
you better get out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's intimidating. I was probably not even close to being qualified to be doing that, but good God, it was fun.
Good experience.
we were just up there just chopping giant trees down, like
for fun.
For fun. I mean, they're falling over anyways.
Right.
So we were just dropping them, and I was like, whatever, who gives a shit? And we were running security, and I know like we'd go up on a weekend, and we have the keys. We had all the Cal Fire keys at all the gates.
Yep.
So nobody was up there. No one except for some hikers and hippies that we.
And they're not going to say anything.
No, but those people are. Yeah, we were up there trying to stop tweakers from stealing everything, and I mean they would be in those old fire stations. Just we would pull out all the old. They had bed frames that were all burned up, and we'd pull them out for the tweakers to watch, and we would like sit back and hide, and they'd come back, and you could always tell. I have no idea how they had 2 tracks through the desert that would connect to the main roads that were gated off. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all that, and we would sit and watch, and we would let these meth heads, we call them tweakers or zombies. Mm-hmm. And this is where I actually started working with Cal Fire for the first time because I put trail cams all through our job sites.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd go up in the mornings and we would check trail cams. And, in the Angeles Crest, I mean, it gets really cold up there. I mean, it freezes at night. And we'd pull trail cams in the morning because you'd see like little barefoot tracks in the dirt and shit. And we'd be like, oh, man, I wondered. You'd see some guy or some woman in like a flannel cutoff in shorts, barefoot, and it's like 27 degrees up there. So we were like, oh, this is like an hour ago. So we'd go try to we'd find them like laying on the side of the road, all hypothermic, shivering and shit. So we call Cal Fire all the time. And Cal Fire would come rescue these tweakers. And I mean, it was like, we got another one. And so we drop them a pin and they would know exactly where they were. And I was like, do we need a bird or do we need a truck come up? We could drive to them because they'd always be right there.
Right.
But that was crazy working up there. But that's where we were. We dealt a lot with Cal Fire just because of all these meth heads.
The area.
They're freezing up there all the time. And we're like, we had to save these people. It's our job. But
yes.
And then the hippies, I mean, you'd see these, I don't know what, I'm cool. Like hiking is not my thing. Like I hate even hiking when I'm hunting. Like I'm out here to kill shit. Like end of story. Like I love the scenery. It's beautiful, whatever. No, I'm not doing this for fun. Like I have a mission. Like I'm here for, we would be up there in our vehicles, in our trucks, and we'd be on a job site, and literally the Angeles Crest Trail we strung line through the Pacific Crest Trail. We're stringing line across it. So these people are walking from Canada to like Baja and back or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the Appalachian Trail for the East or for the West Coast.
Yeah.
And
the PCT.
Yeah. And so you'd see these hikers and they're like zombies. And I'd be like, hey, you guys need anything? They're like, could you take some trash? They'd pull out like a Cliff Bar wrapper. And like, I'm like, you guys need water? You guys want anything? I mean, they look so miserable. Not one of them that we talked to, every time we'd see them, like, we're like, this is great.
Yeah.
Every one of them looked like they wanted to die.
Yep.
And I was like, you're doing this for fun, huh? And they're like, yeah. That's when I discovered a plant that was literally birthed from Satan's asshole. And it's called piddlebush. Are you familiar with it?
No, I don't think so.
I had no idea this plant existed. A tree comes across the road, and my guy's calling, and I'm up there, and it's pitch black. I've got the head. We had all these work trucks, and they're all decked out, full light bars, pods, everything. Because these hikers would, wherever they just get tired, they would lay down and just sleep in. And when they're on these trails up there, they just sleep in the road.
Yeah.
So we're like 3:00 in the morning mobbing because we got trail cams going off, and we almost ran over like our pack of these hikers one night. So I ended up equipping all of our trucks. Huge liability because they're in like a brown sleeping bag. laying in a road or a 2-track.
Can't see 'em.
No, so we're almost running over these hikers and stuff. But we go up there and I'm cutting this giant like ponderosa that came down or pine, whatever, and across the road. There's this plant called the piddle bush, and it's just this long plant. It almost looks like a weed plant, but without all the different, all the different stems coming off it and everything. So it's just tall, and it grows this really beautiful, like bluish purple flower. It's beautiful. It is like poison ivy on steroids.
Oh no!
And I'm cutting through because the tree fell in the brush, and I'm just doing my thing. I got to get my employees off the mountain because their shift changed like 6 hours ago, and they've been stuck up there.
Yeah.
Well, it was like gale force winds. That's why all these trees are coming down. So as I'm doing, all the sawdust is like going down my back, and then apparently my butt crack. And I have no idea. And so everything's cool. And I go home and I do work all day that day into the night because trees are just constantly falling. So I'm on the job site for almost a full like 24 hours. And I get home and I start showering and my whole body breaks out. Like I'm talking, I'm only allergic to poison oak in Oregon for some reason. Like if I just drive to the coast of Oregon, full blown, I have to come back. I have to go to urgent care. I have to get like steroids. Never in my life, but when I go and hunt with my buddy, it's
different breed.
100%. I'm talking where you're in the shower and you're almost bleeding from scratching, and then it went from my butt crack to like my butthole to like my balls and
everything.
I'm in the shower. You could ask the wife, and I'm like, I'm scrubbing. Just what I had no idea what it was, and we ended up doing this research, and I believe it's called piddle bush.
Okay.
It's a beautiful flower, and it is completely full of shit.
I'm gonna Google it later.
And these people are please, and you're gonna.
So I know.
I'll send you it, and it is hell. And it's the whole mountains, all the mountains. At least we're like north of LA, like the Angeles Crest, like Palmdale area, and all that. The mountains are. That's all it was. So once I discovered because then I call one of the medics that's my buddy on this job site, and I'm like, dude, I got into something. I don't know what. He's like, oh, he's laughing. He's like, it's piddle bush. It's piddle bush, and that's when we ended up searching it, and the plant pops up. I'm like,
that's the one.
That's the one. That's what I've been chopping everything up in. And so as it was the sawdust and the wind blowing, and so it's like fiberglass. And then as in the hot water, and the more you scratch it, the more oil it releases. So it is just this vicious cycle, and it was a learning lesson.
That sounds miserable.
It was horrible.
No, thank you.
Absolutely horrible. Okay, so you're on your helicopter crew.
Okay.
You finish that up.
I go take a job. Why did I leave?
Yeah. If you enjoyed it so much, why?
Yeah, I asked myself that question.
Really? It's one of those?
Yeah. I didn't know if I thought I was staying with CAL FIRE for life. I thought I'm going to be here for my career. This is going to be my career. I'm going to do all these cool things.
Enjoying it that much.
Yes. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people leave and go to a structure department or what.
Structure department, you're at basic fire department, correct?
Yep,
okay.
Yep. Just like Boise Fire or whatever.
Got it.
Right? So my boyfriend at the time, we'd been together for like 2 years at the time, I think.
Is he a firefighter?
He is, and I will never date one again.
Okay.
He was on a hotshot crew.
Are you listening, kid? You're listening? Okay, check it. Put it on the do not date list.
Firemen or cops.
Cops or Marines.
Yeah.
That's the wife.
God. So he was on a hotshot crew. He was their squad boss when we met. And funny story, actually. We were dating. He was on the hotshot crew on the opposite side of the forest on the Mendo.
And you wanted to be closer.
No.
Okay.
I was on the crew. I was on Helitac, the other side of the forest from him.
Okay.
We're dating. We get dispatched to a fire in the forest. And I'm like, oh, how funny would it be if we ran into each other? So we land and we're cutting line. And we fly over and I see the buggies. And I was like, no way. Like, I'm going to get to see him on this fire. That's so funny. Like that.
Which you've never done before?
No, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
And so we cut line and they were cutting line. And we literally we met, hey, okay, line's good. And I'm like, that's my boyfriend. because I saw his crew, because I know his crew.
Yeah.
So I was seeing like his captain. I'm like, hey, Jimmy, what's up? And then he's like, yeah, he's right over there. And I was like, sweet. And he came up and like gave me a hug in front of the crew and everything. And they're like, oh, we should take a picture of you, blah, blah, blah. It could be on your fucking wedding invite or whatever. Which,
wrong.
yeah, obviously didn't happen. But it was a cool moment. It was
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So anyways, we were together.
I thought for sure you were going to be like, and he was there with some chick.
Oh, God, no. No. So we... he owned a house in Redding because he worked on the helicopter out of that forest before I met him. So we're like, okay, let's try to get back. We lived together at the time in Lake County, and we're like, let's try to get back to Redding. I'll look for a job up there. Because at the time I was like, do I want to try going to a structured apartment? Do I want to do this? I don't know. And so I was kind of all over the place. And then I'm like, well, I could try to get in with Redding Fire. So I went and visited those guys and did some station visits and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it seems like a fun place to work. Like, I threw my application in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start the hiring process again. Like, I'm going to, do my station visits, put my application in, study. I got an interview. So went and interviewed and took their test. Or I took their test first, passed, had a good score, got an interview, did well in my interview. And then I got a job offer. And I was like, damn, I need to, now this is like serious. It was serious the whole time, but it was like, it didn't hit me.
Now it's really happening.
Yeah, it didn't hit me until then. So then he's like, okay, well, I need to do however many more years with the crew because of whatever his dumbass reason was. And then I held up my part of the deal.
And he bailed.
And I went up there and I took this job with Redding, which I do not regret doing. But I lived in our house and took care of the house and everything. And he stayed down and he was with the crew. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to get up there. Whatever. A year goes by. Still nothing. And I was like, all right, this either needs to work or not. We've been together 3 years. I'm up here by myself. I'm taking care of the house. I'm doing all these things. And then, so we ended up breaking up, whatever. And like a month after we break up,
he moves up.
He transfers and gets a captain job on one of the crews up there. And I was like, are you fucking serious, dude? So anyways, that happened. So then I'm up there and I'm all bitter because I'm like,
rightfully so,
fucking guy, whatever. But it ended up being like, okay, because I love living there. Obviously, I still live there. So yeah, I went to work for Redding Fire.
Do you work for him now or
No.
work together?
No.
Okay.
No, he's a battalion chief, like way down in the central state now.
Okay.
So I don't run into him. So, yeah. So anyways, I worked for Redding Fire. That was hard. Only woman in that entire department.
Really?
They were not that cool. Well, I shouldn't say they. There was some people when I got there that like did not want to work with me, did not want to have a woman in their station, didn't want to have one on their strike team, like whatever.
I feel like everything you said so far, like you've proved yourself and have built a name on everything you've done, and you're still getting backlash on these crews or these stations.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens.
It's just nature
if they
of the
don't
beast.
know you or whatever. But thankfully, I've had like a really good reputation, and I've worked really hard to make sure that I do, and I don't want to do anything to mess that up, and I try to continue being like the way that I've been and the person that I am and things like that. So, yeah, it was a rough start. And their academy was only 4 weeks long. So every time you go, when you get hired with a city municipal department, they all have their own academies.
I was going to ask that because I feel like you've gone through so many different academies
I've gone through
at this point.
4. Brutal.
So every time you change a station or a department, you have to go through their academy.
Yep.
Are you just like, fuck, here we go?
Yeah.
Is there a test and academy, or is there?
Yes.
Really?
Test. Yes.
So just because you're in, you have to requalify every single time.
So
technically,
if you change departments, you do.
Interesting.
Yeah. So theirs wasn't that hard. They didn't PT. We didn't PT in that academy, which is not normal for most academies. Okay. But it was because Redding is a small fire department. They didn't have the personnel, like the time. They're trying to get us through and be like, because the whole point of an academy when you go to a new department is this is how we do things. This is how we throw ladders. This is how our engines are set up. This is how our truck works. Blah, blah, blah.
So they're crash coursing you to learn that department.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they want to see like, okay, we're going to throw ladders for the entire day. We want to see like people's techniques. We want to see.
What is throwing ladder?
So it's basically, I don't know what, that's what we say. But when you put up the ladders on the buildings.
Oh, okay.
The ground ladders.
Okay.
Or the aerial on the truck or
I
whatever.
mean, I figured that, but I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if there was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they want to see how you do all that stuff.
Got it.
So then we get through that academy, get online, and I had a super fun time there, and I had a shit ton of experience. That department burns. It's very fun. It's very busy. They have a lot of downfalls, unfortunately, which is why I don't work there anymore. But
What do you mean?
like a lot of it's starting to get better. I still keep in touch with a lot of them, and I live there, of course, so I get to visit and whatever. But just not very well taken care of by the city. The fire chief at the time was not very supportive.
Downfalls is like people rotating out. Is that what you mean by that?
Well, because since I've left, there's been like 15 of us that have bounced from that department.
No shit.
Yeah. Like there was a couple before me, and then after me, there's been more. Just because they it's
just poorly managed.
It's poorly managed. You don't get paid well at all.
Okay.
At all.
So funding's a big part of it?
Funding is a big part. And it's just like the time that I was there, it was like the contract for us was, we were about to be going through a new contract and trying to get a new one. And then we were in impasse because everybody couldn't, get the things that we wanted, and they wanted to offer us less. They wanted to take away things from us. They didn't want to pay us more. Like all these things were happening. And then everybody was in a shit mood. So I'd go to work, and it was just like the I hate using the word toxic, but it was a very toxic environment.
That's a thing.
It was very hard to be around a lot of people there. And then I could feel myself. I was like, damn, now I'm in a shitty mood because of this and that and whatever. And the type of place it was too is like, you can't trust like half the people you work with, because the moment you walk out of the door, someone's going to say something about you.
Yeah.
Because
morale is down. So
morale is down.
This cancer starts spreading inside. Yes.
Yep. And that's why it was happening. It's because of that. And it's like, I didn't want to be around it. And it got like really, and it sucked too, because like I said, I really enjoyed working there. I got to go on strike teams on our wildland engines every summer and do that still. And then run these badass structure fires. And I ended up getting onto the ladder truck the last year and a half I was there. I had enough seniority. I went downtown, worked on the ladder truck.
And this is the first time you've been on a ladder truck?
First time. Went down.
So that's pretty cool.
It's so cool. I cut like 8 vent holes on roofs on houses that were on fire in my first year, 6 months, my first 6 months on the truck.
Really?
That's a lot compared to like a normal department or a slow department or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. And it's so it sucks. I know it's someone's house on fire, and so when firefighters talk about like, oh, the structure fire was this, or I had fun on the hose line, or this or that, it's like, it's just like our job.
It's your job.
Fun.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just our
obviously
job.
you're not like, yay, we get to go to somebody that's losing everything, but at the same time, you're like, I got to cut a giant fucking hole in this roof today.
Yeah,
I get it, 100%.
Because that's truck work is ladders and.
So you're fully kitted out on this roof with a chainsaw, or are you doing it with an axe? Because I've seen both done, right? Where these guys can just chop it in.
No, I chainsaw. Yeah, gear, BA, chainsaw.
Did you ever have any close calls of falling through? Have you ever seen anybody go through?
I've seen that. I've had my foot go through inside of a house, because the floor was burned through.
Really?
Yeah, but I was fine. Like I've had little stuff like that. But I've been on some sketchy roofs.
Yeah.
But no.
What's the leading cause of fires that you're going to in that area? Why are houses catching on fire?
There's a lot of hoarder houses.
That's exactly where my mind was.
Yeah. It's still, even currently, a lot of the fires we go on, or like I've had like a couple space heaters in garages. I've had candles.
Really?
In houses, or little like Scentsy things or whatever in like a closet. I've had lots of electrical fires. Yeah, and especially if it's a hoarder house or if it's like a tweaker that's going in there, and sometimes they light them on fire, sometimes they're just dumb. So
how bad are the hoarder houses that you've gone in?
Pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, like walking around, even opening the door is like almost impossible. Moving around, doing anything is hard. And then when it's all said and done, you got to shovel it all out of the house because it's all on fire. That's how I hurt my back. Like bad on a fire was picking up everything and shoveling it for like 2 hours after the fire's out inside of a hoarder house, because it's all
just
been burned.
Smolders?
Yeah. So you have to move it. Otherwise you're just...
That's your guys' job?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're in this hoarder's house. that just got caught on fire from whatever reason. And then you have to shovel all of their shit out.
Yeah,
into the front lawn, out the back door.
Yeah, out of the window, out of the door. If it was on fire and if it's going to be a problem, yeah, you got to move it.
How bad does that smell?
Pretty bad.
Have you ever been in ones that were like just shit everywhere? Like
oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. That like shit.
Please continue.
Yeah.
I want to hear these.
Yeah. Like dead body, dead animal, dead everything in the house burned.
You've gone into like dead bodied, rotten in hoarder houses?
Oh yeah. I've had my fair share of dead bodies on medicals, fires, whatever.
Have you ever seen it where their animals or their pets eat them?
Once.
Really?
One time.
I had a woman on. She was a cop, and we got into that. What was it like?
It's just weird.
What type of dog?
This one was cats.
Cats.
Yeah, this one was cats, and I don't like cats.
No,
so.
oh, I'm 100%.
I was like,
I'm 100%
I don't
team
trust
dog.
you guys.
But they say like all dogs do it too.
Dogs, I've heard. Yeah, I've heard of dogs doing it too, and it's weird. It's super weird. I think part of it is this is my owner. Why aren't they moving? Why, like, what's going on? What happened to them? And then part of it's like, I'm hungry. You haven't fed me in 8 days. I think it's like a mix of the two. That's what I came up with.
Where did the cats eat? Like fingers, face?
I've seen like face. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. I don't know.
It's 100% weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel anything other than like, you're not supposed to see that.
I mean, human nature, you're just used to like, his nose is gone from his labradoodle.
Yeah, it's I don't know, because like, I'm very thankful. I have like a stomach of steel.
Okay.
And my smells and nose and everything, like, I've gone into some gnarly calls, like medical, fire, whatever it is, like, does not seem to bother me at all. Like, there's been some ones where I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to throw up.
What makes you cringe? What are the houses you walk into and you're like, ugh?
Actually, this one frustrated me to no end. It was a man that had been living in his van for a long time, and he was in the front seat, and he was so septic, and he was pushing 350 pounds probably.
Septic as in like a sore or an infection on him? Yeah,
and no pants on, didn't take care of himself, just shit all over the front seat. Like, he would just shit right there and then not clean it up, and like...
Isn't it sad that like there's people living
that's
like
why
this
it's so
in our
frustrating.
country? Like, the fact that like this dude is... So he's just shitting himself in his front seat of his van. Like, how are we here as Americans? And like,
it's frustrating because I feel bad for those people.
100%.
And I'm also like, I could never imagine. There so many calls I go on. I'm like, I could never imagine letting myself get to that state ever.
Yeah.
And some of it's like,
but like,
you don't,
what turned for him? I'm sure at some point in his life he was
normal.
Oh my God, I would never. And then there they are.
Totally. And there's a lot of things that go on that like, it could be a number of
for
all these people. I know that. And I'm like I am not judgmental, and I treat people the same when I run calls.
Yeah, you have to.
I don't go in like prejudgment or whatever. And yeah, that one was bad because
was he dead or was he still alive?
No, he was alive. He was so septic that he was so out of it. So I was trying to get him to like, can you at least shift this way towards me? Like, we have to get you out of the van type of deal. And he wouldn't let go of the steering wheel. So I legit found it. You know, I had my turnout bottoms on. Thank God.
That's your pants with the like suspenders?
Yeah, my fire.
Okay.
Yeah, my structure bottoms. And I like found a towel and I just got in there because no one else was going to get in there. And I was like, I'm just getting in here. And I fucking stuck my foot in the frame of the van and I found a towel and I put it under his arms and I started yarding on him to get out. And because there wasn't like an injury or anything like that to him. That was, I wasn't going to make it worse, you know?
And at that point, what other option do you have besides cutting open the whole side of the van?
And so he wouldn't let go of the steering wheel, and I was getting frustrated because he just didn't understand because he was just so out of it. He was out of it. Okay. He just wouldn't let go. And so I'm like yarding on him to get out, and it was like at one point I turn around and there's like, you know, the ambulance crew, my crew, the gurney and everything, and I was like, one of you motherfuckers needs to get in here and help me because this is not happening. So finally, I grab his leg, take it out of the van, covered in shit, obviously. My turnout bottoms.
When you say covered in shit, how much shit are we talking?
A lot. Like at least a couple days. Like,
really?
Yeah. And piss and everything. Just like, and I've been
God
in,
bless you.
I've been in that plenty of times, like in people's houses, picking them up off the floor like that or whatever, or if they don't take care of themselves or something like that. So this is not a new thing. That one in particular was just so gnarly. And the combination of trying to rip him out of this van and finally got him and put him on the gurney.
How'd you get his hands to release?
I had to like
Really?
manually
Pry his
fingers off the steering wheel. And then at one point I got him to actually like look at me and I was like, you need to take your other hand off the steering wheel right now. Like now. Because I'm getting you out of this van. And then we got him and it took a long time. And I was so frustrated. And I was just like, hose me off.
I mean, that's your only option at that point.
Yeah. I'm just spray, what's it called? Like cleaner. I keep a bottle of spray cleaner in the door where all the medical shit is.
Oh my
so
God.
I normally just,
yeah, because you don't want to get back in the truck like that.
No. I think I took my turnout bottoms off.
Oh my God. Have you ever dealt with any like huge people? Because I've seen like, do you ever like cut anybody out of a house or anything like that?
Yes. Yeah. It was the same weekend.
These are the stories. All right.
The same weekend that call was that I just said. It was like that night we got a rescue fire and there was 2 victims inside. And the one that was in the bathroom, she was like 250 probably, and ended up cutting from the outside. One of the crews grabbed the chainsaw and they came around and they basically made the window into a door in the bathroom because it was a hoarder house. She was big. There was no way we were getting her out through the front door. Because
that's what, I mean, that's where my mind was like, if you have this 300 pound plus person, how do you get them through the debris? I mean, you see some of these, like on that show, Hoarders. I mean, I was a fan of that show for the longest time. My mom was obsessed with it. But like some of these, I mean, they have paths.
Yeah, that's what they do. Every house you go into like that, it's a path. And that's just their path that they leave for themselves to walk or whatever. So
you have to go out the closest hole.
Yeah, so basically that crew that made the call to do that, amazing, absolutely amazing work. Turning the window into a door. I've done that myself on a hoarder fire just to be able to get everything out of the room because I didn't want to take it out and put it in the yard. Like I've legit cut a window frame down and moved it so that we could just push everything out onto the ground.
Full, huh?
But they did it for a rescue because she was heavy, which is like...
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes so much sense. And it's so cool that you work with people that are that good and that smart that they're like, this is our plan. This is what we're doing.
That is, how often does that happen? I mean, is this I feel like as our country just gets more and more unhealthy that these calls become more and more of a thing.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I think like, you know, what percentage of people use the 911 system? I don't know. And a lot of them is the same person calling over and over again.
Really?
You go pick up the same person.
Yeah, so you have frequent flyers.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, everybody does. It's like you don't, you know.
Just know by their voice. You're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, or their address.
Their address. I guess dispatch is calling up them.
Like, oh, time to go pick her up off the floor again. And it's like harmless, you know. Sometimes it's like they just need to get back up and put in bed. That's it.
It's just an old elderly person?
Or whoever.
Or a big person?
Or a big person. A lot of the time it's big people that need help.
And they fall in their hoarder house or just normal houses?
Just normal. Like, they're just that big and incapable of handling themselves at that point. And sometimes they have caretakers and stuff too. And, like, the caretaker can't even do it or they won't. And so they'll just call and then we'll go do it.
So is that a non-emergency call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a non-emergency.
And you just like, come on, Jill. Like, we got you.
Yeah. Those are very common.
Really?
Yes. Very common. And going to like old folks' homes and stuff like that and helping them or picking them up or whatever, very common.
I feel bad for old people,
Me
man.
too.
Especially in old folks' homes. Like I think one of my biggest motivations of being so tight with our kids is that I never end up in an old folks' home.
Yeah.
That to me is hell.
My dad and I just had this conversation the other day. I was like, I will never put you in a home.
My sister and I had it. She's getting my mom because I love my mom. I love my mom. She's going to my sister's.
Yeah, you can have her. Yeah.
And my dad's coming here.
Yep.
We have it all planned out.
I get that.
I'm cool. My dad is like, we even forget he's here half the time.
No,
He'll
that's
just come
cool.
out and like, Jesus, Dad, like, so he just,
Yeah.
he's cool. All
Yeah.
right. But I couldn't do it to my parents.
Yeah.
Unless they got to the point where I couldn't physically take care of them.
If they needed to go somewhere that had the level of care, supervision.
That I can't provide,
yes.
cool. But no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yep, totally.
God, I feel bad, but hoarders. So when I was in high school, my first experience with hoarders, we had an internship, and I might have told it on this podcast where we did an intern in high school when I wanted to be a cop. We all go through people. It's just our personalities. Like, I want to be a cop.
Yep.
I did a ride along, and one of the first houses we went into was a hoarder house, and they had cats, and there was stacks of boxes. It was just paths, and there was cat shit. Mm-hmm. And the smell, and I'm like in my Letterman jacket, and I walk in, I'm like, like 17 years old. Like, I got home and I was like, don't want to be a cop.
Yeah, you're like, I don't ever want to do that
This
again.
is what you have to deal with. He's like, just another day. And I'm
Yep.
like, absolutely. I'm joining the military and I'm putting my life on the line. I'm going to go to war. I'm not dealing with this shit. Absolutely not. And this is, craziest. What's one of the calls that sticks out to you? Like you showed up and you were like, holy fuck. Have you ever had one of those?
I have. Yeah, I definitely have. It's just hard because I always think about that because a lot of people ask like, what's the gnarliest call you've had or this or that? And I'm like, man, when I get asked that, I'm like, I don't know.
There's that many?
Yeah, I've had some.
You have the perfect job for you.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I found, like, I'm so thankful that I ended up in this line of work. It's definitely where I belong. I
So you're at a
guess.
station now. I think we might have breezed over this because I'm so fascinated by just calls. I could talk calls with you. So,
So
we're in it.
we're in it. So I left Reading.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff that was happening. And I was like, I'm not happy here anymore. I need to make a change. I want to be somewhere that's more supportive. I want to be somewhere that, maybe like a little bit more opportunity. I need to take care of myself and do what I need to do for myself.
Yeah.
I left, went to a new department as a lateral, which is cool because what that means is you basically apply as a lateral. I have this many years of service. This is where I worked. This is what I did.
Do you still have to test?
You still have to test.
Okay.
But I had the interview, did really well, got the job offer, and then you have your academy. So as a lateral, it's a 7 or 8 week. Academy.
Instead of
20 weeks.
Jeez.
22.
So you're just learning how that station works. You don't have to go through all the basic shit again.
No, they pick and choose what they have for you to do, and then yes, it's a crash course.
Got it.
But they PT you in this one, which I was so down for because I love the PT and working out and obviously exercising, all that shit. This by far was the hardest academy.
Why?
They just run you into the ground. It's a very good academy.
And where are you
now?
Like for this academy, where is this academy taking place?
In the East Bay area.
Okay.
In Concord.
Really?
Yeah, and it's at the training grounds with the training tower, all the equipment, everything.
Everything. So
yes.
you're in it. This is it.
And it's, it was very hard. It was physically challenging and mentally challenging because I'm like, I did not have to leave what I just did.
I had it.
I had it on the helicopter.
Didn't realize it.
I had it on the ladder truck.
So you're like realizing you're a glutton for just punishment and change at this point.
And also I was just like, I just got to figure out like, this isn't working. Mm-hmm. I'm very grateful for my time with my last department and the one before. Yeah. And I learned so much. I got so much experience, everything. But I made a choice to leave and start over again, which was really, really, really hard. Okay. I left my house. I put all my shit in storage. Didn't even have a house up there anymore. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go. Got an Airbnb in Concord, and my mom watched my dog. And I went down there and I just did this academy and didn't know. I knew 2 people that worked at this department, 2 firefighters. That's it. I didn't know anybody else. Didn't know anybody that I was getting hired with. And yeah, they just like run your shit into the ground.
Really?
And it's very strict and they fuck with you as they should.
Very militaristic in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the drilling and everything, it was great. And
how many women?
I was the only one in mine.
Really?
In my academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the fallout rate a lot higher at these because there's so much tougher?
I think it's higher in the entry level one.
Okay.
Not the lateral one.
Okay.
So we only
So is
lost...
everybody that you're going through with are all lateral
Yes.
people? Okay.
Yep.
So you're not going in with newbies and okay.
Nope. They separate you.
Got it.
We only lost one person. So that's pretty good.
You all been in it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at that point, if you're going to bail out, it's a mental thing. Mm-hmm. Or if you're just like, you always hear it like, oh, they lied on their resume or whatever. And they show up and you're like, what the fuck? Like how
is he here?
Yeah.
Got it.
So there's that type of thing too. But, no, and like I said, I've been here a year and a half and I'm so glad. I went through phases. In the academy, I was like, what am I doing?
I can imagine.
What am I doing?
You start reflecting like, well,
Yeah.
I could be hanging out of a helicopter right now fucking off.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, I cannot believe I'm here. Got through it, had a rough start. And then it was like earlier this year, I had like this change because I was like running. I was like going in my head. I was like, oh my God, I'm not happy here. What did I do? Like, and it had been like 7 or 8 months had gone by that I'd been working there. And I'm like, I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah.
And then I had thankfully I had like a switch and I absolutely love it there. I love going to work.
So you just had to get in a groove.
Yeah, that's all it was. And I had a solid crew. So when you're on probation, when you graduate the academy, they put you with a crew at a station for your first 5 months. Mm-hmm. And then they put you with a different crew at a different station for your second 5 months. And I had solid crews at both spots.
Okay.
And I am so thankful for that because you can get shitty assignments or you can get really good assignments. And I got really good assignments both times.
What makes a good assignment versus a shitty assignment?
Good people. People that want to train all the time. People that want to help you do because when you get on probation, you have a task book. You have to do all these things, all these skills.
Damn.
Go out and like pull this hose and take this hose here and throw this ladder here and do this and do that. And like, it's all types of shit and training that you have to go do.
Okay.
And so
can you knock out like a bunch in a day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. So you just got to get through that and like do your bookwork side of it and take your tests and stuff like that. And then at the end of it, you go take a big test. Mm-hmm. Your whole academy group comes together and everybody goes, and there's like 8 stations they set up and you go take the test. And you got to pass all of them and then you pass probation.
No shit. And so once you pass probation, I mean, you're a full blown firefighter at this point.
You're doing the same. You're the same thing.
Nothing changes, but now you have the...
Yes. Now you get to take your green shield off your helmet. You don't have to wear your Class B uniform every single day. You don't have to, for me though, like, it's little things too on probation that are traditional. Like you don't sit in a recliner. You don't watch TV. At the house? Yeah. Okay. You don't, like, you beat everyone to doing everything. You are the first one up making the coffee, doing the things, putting the dishes away.
So you're a greenhorn.
Mm-hmm. So that's what you're doing.
So even though because we call it lat moving in the Marine Corps. When you change jobs, it's
Mm-hmm.
you're a lat mover. You still start at the bottom.
Yeah.
There's no like, hey, you've been in this like 8 years in Cal Fire and doing all the helicopters. Like you show up and they don't care.
Yeah. Because I'm a new guy there,
That's wild.
Yeah. So that's another thing too, is you're like, I'm starting over.
Fresh.
I have people who have
fucked up.
Dude.
How hard was it when you were like, I'm sure there was that phase where you're like, fuck. Like, why did I do this?
There was that phase for sure. But then you get people like my first captain on probation, badass, and we are close, and I'm very thankful for that. He was just like, I know you fucking been doing this. I don't give a shit about you wearing your dumb shirt. Like, all these things. He's like, we're going to go out and we're going to train a lot. Yeah. And I know you know what to do. And let's, just
get the job done.
He's like, I know you know the program and whatever. Like, I was doing all the things that you're supposed to do as a probie. But he's just like, he didn't treat me
like a probie.
No, he didn't.
You weren't some kid that just like, oh, I'm going to be a firefighter. And this is they're trying to work up. I mean, you had that.
I did.
Little bit of respect.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. And it's nice. And it was also a cool thing too, working for people, going to work for new people all the time. Yeah. And we'll like run a fire together, or we'll do this or we'll do that. And they're like, oh, like, you're fine.
So what's your schedule?
So right now we do,
because this is completely different from Cal Fire.
Yes.
I mean, that's a whole different world compared
Yes.
to being you call it a station or a house? What do you?
Both house,
Okay.
firehouse.
Because this is a whole new world.
Yes.
And in the firefighting world, is this like the cherry on the top?
This is what everybody
strives to be
for.
Okay, so when you see all those Cal Fire guys, they're all wishing that they were real firefighters.
Most of them.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't hold that against me. So so now you made it. I mean, that's got to feel really good.
It does.
And so it's paying off.
Yeah, it's paying
you're
off.
in it. So what's the schedule like?
We work a 2x4, 48.96. So you're on
48 on, 96 off.
Yep, that's what our schedule is, and
Fuck out of here. That's
yeah, that's what we do now.
you work. That is an incredible schedule.
Mm-hmm. And then you can work overtime, you can do trades, you can do whatever you want. Like right now, to be here for the amount of time I've been in Idaho, I think I used vacation for one shift and trade for my other shift. And so I will just owe somebody 2 days of work. And so I do that a lot. And so I'll work a 96 and then I'll have whatever that gives me 2 days off. So it'll be backwards. I'll work a 96, have 2 days off, go back to work.
I feel like that's a schedule I would take.
Yeah.
You just rake it in.
Yeah.
So if you were a single dude or chick, you could just, hey, I'll take anybody that wants to
Yeah.
and you could just rake it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you're doing something different every day.
Yes. Yeah. Like when I go back to work.
Damn, good for you.
Thank you.
I mean, this seems like a dream job.
It is. It's amazing. I love being there. I love our schedule. I love that I have the opportunity to make this schedule into, okay, I'm going to stack these days, but guess what? I get 2 weeks off to go hunting in Idaho. Like,
yeah,
that's amazing. And because of the way our schedule is, that means I'm only taking 2 shifts off. It doesn't mean I had to take
2 weeks off.
Yes, however many hours of vacation or whatever it would be for a normal job. It's like completely,
or you can trade with somebody.
Yeah, or I do a lot of trades because then it's like all we're doing is owing each other days. That's it. And so
damn, now I see why it's so tough. Those academies, like especially if you were a new kid, because once you're set, I mean, you're set.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, so scariest part of your job. You guys are doing stuff on highways, right?
Yeah.
How is that? I always feel like
that's one of the probably most dangerous parts of our job, I would say.
Really?
Well, because like people don't care that you have sirens on a big red fire engine or whatever.
Or they're looking
and yeah,
down at their
people take
phone.
videos if there's an accident. I've seen so many people drive by taking videos of the crime scene. Or the crime scene, Jesus. The accident scene. And I'm like, what, you're going to cause another one. What are you doing? Have you never seen this before? Like, keep driving.
that's the most frustrating. Or when it's on the other side of the freeway and you're
That
sitting in
too.
traffic for 30 minutes and it's not even on
For
your
anything.
side.
For nothing. Yeah. No, we've had a couple, one of our trucks got tagged like twice.
Really?
Like once last year, I think. And then like right before I got there, we've had engines get hit. Yeah, people like the truck will be like, if it's a tiller, it'll be like crab.
What's a tiller?
Tillers are badass. I got to work on 2 actually since I've been here. So it's a ladder truck.
Okay.
But it's like a tractor trailer where it's got the guy that sits, the tillerman. He
back.
sits in the back and
Yeah, and
steers as
it?
well. You've
Okay.
seen him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's a tiller.
Got it. I never knew there was the term for it.
Yep.
So
if you sit in the back, you're a tillerman. And that's what I'm trying to get signed off for by next year.
I feel like that as a firefighter, that's the like pinnacle. Like you're in the back,
Yeah.
just steering this thing.
Hell yeah.
That
So
would be,
cool.
I mean, that's what you think of when you hear a firefighter. Mm-hmm. So much cooler than cops.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Is there a cop firefighter rivalry? I mean, how deep does that go?
Yeah, and you know what's funny is like most of my really good friends from back home, they're all cops.
Okay.
And so we just talk shit to each other all the time.
Yeah.
But no,
it's
cool.
It's like all the military branches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very similar. And yeah, we have like good relationships for the most part, depending on where you're working at. And then like even when I was up north working in Redding, we had really good relationships with the cops. Like I'm friends with a handful of them now, just after like running calls with them and stuff. And they got your back. Like I've been on fires up there where a cop will come out because if we're the first ones on scene on a fire and there's nobody there, they legit will like help you get the hydrant. they'll help you do shit.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I've had cops like help carry fire hose or whatever. Like, they are super cool if you have a good relationship.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's badass.
So as far as fires,
Yes.
any close calls, sketchy situations? I mean, are you crawling in houses full blaze? I mean,
I've never really had. I've had one that was a little sketch, like it was fully involved. It was ceiling and walls like coming down with a captain. So we rolled up and the captain was inside doing a search because there was 2 victims, and the engineer was at the door getting the hose, and I jumped off my crew, ran up to the engineer so I could help him, and then my engineer was getting water, and my captain took over IC outside doing a 360 of the fire. So I went with them. I bailed for my crew, went with this crew, and then the parts of the hallway came down where the captain was in the other side. And so the engineer I was with was like a little worried, like, oh shit, not realizing, well, he was fine because those 2 rooms were unaffected. Those 2 rooms were just smoke, but that's where the victims were. Both of them. There was grandma and grandpa in bed. And so we pushed in, and it was like, at that point, the water wasn't doing like shit. Because
does it just get to a certain point where you just pretty much let it burn?
Sometimes that happens. Like, we don't like let it burn, but it's just like you're like, fuck, this whole entire living room's on, the garage is on, like this and that. And you're like, at this point, I'm going to try to. The important part of that fire was rescue. Like, we're in rescue mode. We need to have water on the fire where it's going to count for us right now and not worry about a section that maybe we could write off if we're not going to do anything or save anything, like the garage, for example.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the garage during that scenario. They are a priority. We have to get them, and then making sure that we don't make it, like, keep the fire in check where you're at, essentially, so that we're not making it worse. It's not getting into the hallway. It's not rolling down the hallway. It's not affecting it, making it worse, whatever, in that situation. So, yeah, I'm sitting there, like, on the nozzle, trying to, just hitting it in the living room, trying to do the best I can with the situation, I guess. And it was working, like keeping it out of the hallway and everything. But there was like shit coming down everywhere. And then the truck crew had came in from the back, because I was on the engine at this time. They came in from the back, which I didn't know at the time. And they found one victim, got them out. I ditched the hose line, went down the hallway, and got another victim from the captain that had been back there. Like, we just pushed the shit out of the way that fell into the hallway, and then grabbed that victim. Me and the engineer I was working with, we took her out through the front door. And then after that, it was like, there was a crew there that took, because that's the thing too, is like, you take someone out, there's got to be a crew there immediately on medical for them. And an ambulance.
You're going back in, correct?
Yeah.
You're just dumping and turning?
Yeah, as long as there's somebody there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have stayed
Yep.
and taken medical. Because at that point, that's my priority.
I feel like, obviously your world is completely different, but how often are you guys getting called to like house fires?
Very frequently.
Really? Because like you look at like a subdivision. We've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you if a house was ever caught on fire, and I feel
Probably not.
So it's like,
if it does, it's like a complete accident. You know what I mean?
Out of the house calls that you guys are getting called to, when you guys roll up, how many of them are like fully like holy shit, or are the majority of them like, okay, it's not like a super rush? Because I see some videos and it looks like firefighters are like they're like getting their shit together.
Yeah, no. I think another reason I'm very proud of where I work now, everybody is like on top of their shit. Yeah. They're quick, they're prepared. People are just like they're really good at their jobs.
Got it.
Everything is like fast, get out, get hose line to the door, get water on the fire.
Yep.
If you got to force the door, it's like we're all working together too, because where I work now, there's so many fucking people that it's like you don't have to do everything by yourself. I don't have to force the door and pull the hose, take it there. So
everybody's got to roll.
Everybody's got to roll. Mm-hmm. And it's like you can still have those scenarios, but for the most part, I've had it like, okay, I got the hose line, I'm going to the door, I got my my Halligan with me or whatever. But my engineer, because all he has to do at that point, if he already got his water supply or if he doesn't need to right away, he just gets me water in my hose line, he can run up and he can force the door. or take the fucking circ saw and
This is a whole different world than you're used to.
Yeah. And it's rad. And I think that we do a really, really good job as a department of these things. And I think we are known for being a very busy department. Like, we definitely burn a lot, which is really cool. That is a big reason why I wanted to go there.
You'd rather have that than stagnant and sitting in a house all day.
Because I could have left and went anywhere and been like, I want to make $200,000 and run like 5 medical aids and maybe go to a house fire once a year. There's so many people that do that.
Really?
And that's fine. If that's the kind of life you want, if that's, you're doing it for like whatever your reasons are, like,
do it.
Go for it.
But you're how often in a week span is your department getting called out?
For a house fire?
Yeah.
Every week. Every day.
You guys are
every other day.
So when you go into work, you know.
If I don't get a fire, someone else in the district got a fire. Every time I go to work.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And
it's
everything.
The thing about us though, I say that and there's probably people who are like, "Oh, fucking bullshit." It's like, no, it's true. We span so wide.
Okay.
The county is so big and we've taken over so many different cities that's why. Because we have so much area with so many places. It
seems insane. And you guys aren't getting hurt?
Sometimes.
Is it more like debris? I feel like firefighters actually being burned is not as common. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's more like debris fucking up backs and necks and stuff falling on you type of shit, or falling through things.
Yeah, or lifting up a 300-pound person off the floor and now your back goes out. Literally, that's what most injuries are.
Really?
Backs, or rolling your ankle on a wildland fire, or whatever it is. Like,
it's not for like being burned.
No, I know people that have been burned. Mm-hmm. I've been burned, not bad, but
how? Like, what is that like? Is it just the heat, or is it actual burn?
Both. Okay. I burned through my turnout bottom and my fucking boot one time.
Really? Mm-hmm. I'm not. This isn't weird, but like girl dad, right?
Yeah.
So I wash my wife's hair. I comb their hair. I'm engulfed in fucking full heads of there's hair everywhere, and I'm looking at your hair. I'm like, you got beautiful hair.
Thank you.
How is this not just fried and singed going into fires?
I put this shit in a bun or a braid and I stuff it in my helmet.
Or otherwise it'd be gone.
Yeah.
Or you have to have it because I feel like it's long.
Yeah, it is. It is very long. We also wear hoods. We wear flash hoods.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
So you tuck all that in?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll go up over my mask.
Okay.
And then nothing, because if anything is in the way, you'll have a bad seal. And so
seals are probably very
that's
important.
why they can't have beards.
Beards, same with like a gas mask.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Everything has to come on.
Yeah. So
you're tucking all of that in.
All of it goes in a bun, wrapped up, or in a braid, because the braid will just go down my back behind my
okay, so that's probably the easiest.
I like the braid.
So when you go to shift, you just rock a braid the whole entire time?
I wear my hair down sometimes, or I just throw it up in a bun or whatever. And then if we get a fire, I literally I always have hair ties on me, and I'm just like in the engine, I'll just fucking throw it up real quick or whatever.
Yeah, because that's like when you started talking fires, I'm like, how in the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
and on wildland fires, I still go to them, but I like to put it in a bun, and then I'll take the back of my helmet and I'll just like lift my bun up and I'll put on my cap.
No
and
shit.
then it looks like I don't have hair. But I don't give a shit what I look like, so.
Oh, yeah, no, save the hair. I get it. Like, if anything happened to my wife's hair, like, that's her biggest fear in the world, is not having this her full head of hair. Like, so that's why I was wondering about that. 4th of July.
Insane. No matter where you are.
Is this the craziest day of your guys' like, is it all hands on deck? I mean, and so you guys are just ready for war and blowing off fingers?
I've worked the last probably 5 4th of Julys, but in this new department, I worked this one and last one, and it's like the same. It's like clockwork. It's the same. No matter where you're working.
A switch gets flipped and you're just getting calls.
Yeah, because we have some gnarly, like, ghetto-ass places where I work.
Okay.
And so, and it's not even just there, but most of the time that's where you end up. People are shooting off fireworks and shit. There's, like, sideshows in the middle of the road. People spinning around doing shit, lighting shit on fire. People are fighting. There's fucking stabbings. There's shootings. Like, like all the fireworks are catching people's houses on fire. This field's on fire. That's on fire. Like
blowing their hands off with mortars.
Yes, everything. And so we do this thing where once it's like, what time is it at night? It's like 5 o'clock at night or like 7 p.m. or something. We switch to only going to like emergent calls and fires. We won't go to the code 2 like lift assist or anything like that because we are so busy. And then they'll start only sending because we have this much shit going on. I've been to a grass fire and we are the only ones there. And I'm doing this hose lay by myself. And then another engine will show up and it's just us and we'll wrap it and we won't even like fully mop it up. We'll just make sure it's out.
And then you're already on
and then we gotta go to another one. And then this palm tree is on fire in front of this house. So now it's catching the fence on fire. It's only us. It's my engine. That's it.
And how many guys are on this?
3.
There's only 3 to an engine?
Yeah, 3
really?
And then 4 on the trucks and 4 on the rescues.
No shit.
Yeah. So it's just like you're bouncing around to all these calls and then there's someone you go to this park and it's on fire because guess what? It's the box of fireworks that they lit off and then they just leave it there. And they leave it in like roundabouts in the middle of the fucking road. And you're like, what the fuck?
How is there not just a camera crews following everybody around, the firefighters and
they
cops?
should. On the 4th of July,
and you're just rolling up like dudes getting stabbed. I mean, why? Like,
I don't know.
Shootings.
Just another day.
Do you guys have to wait for cops to show up? I mean, have you ever showed up to like a shooting and you're the first ones there, or is it usually all clear? Do you have to deal with any of that shit?
I feel like we don't stage as hard as other departments do or other people, but it's like captain's discretion.
What do you mean stage?
Like wait for them
and
then go in. I've definitely been on calls. I remember my very first call with this department was, it was a gunshot wound to the head. Well, I go up to the guy. He's laying. You could see you pull up. He's laying in the front yard, in a neighborhood, laying in the front yard. Like he shot himself in the head. And I roll up, and I was like, oh, and I look down, and the pistol is sitting right there.
But that was your first call?
That was my very first call with this department.
You walked up to a suicide?
Yeah. Yep.
That's wild.
Yep. And then
how does that deal with like your mental stage? Dealing with just, I mean, I feel like that stuff personally, none of that bothers me. It would be the children shit. That's where
I had a bad kid call not that long ago, actually.
You want to talk about it or no?
I don't care if you want to hear about it.
Yeah, I want to hear it. Yeah. I just don't like seeing, like, me personally, like, overseas and shit. Like, that's the only stuff that ever really affected me was kid stuff. But, like,
you have kids. I don't.
Yeah. It's way different. See, it bothered me then, but now I probably couldn't handle it now because I didn't have kids then. Yes. But even still, I just had that, like, this is fucked.
That's what I always say, too, because I don't have kids or anything. And, like, it still it bothers me no matter what.
For sure.
But I see that and I'm like, fuck, they're so helpless. Like they didn't put themselves in this situation. You know what I mean? Not that everybody does, but yeah, we got a call. It was a busy night and we get there and there's 2 laying in the street. There's a little kid and his dad laying in the street. And dad's like this close to probably not making it at the time. Little kid's crying, freaking out. Obviously, I think he was like 6.
Did he get hit by a car or something?
Yeah. So they were on the sidewalk because he had a helmet on, and I was confused. I was like, what the hell's going on? So they were on the sidewalk riding scooters together, dad and little kid. Mm-hmm. Gnarly, frustrating, crazy. Here's your crazy call.
All in one.
Someone's driving, another car's driving. They're frustrated. Mind you, this is a town it's just a street in the town. It's not like a freeway. It's not anything. It's like downtown.
Okay.
Person's driving, frustrated with how slow the person in front of them is going, decides to drive on the sidewalk and plow over 3 people to get around this car because they're going too slow. Literally decides to drive on the sidewalk, plow over these people, and then wreck their car or whatever.
See, that should be instant death penalty.
I agree.
Instant death, like you're done.
These kids are like fucking 20 years old or whatever, the ones that are driving.
So they got him?
Yeah, they found him. But
did the dad make it?
I don't know. We flew both of them out. So I was in charge. My patient was a kid. That was mine. Mm-hmm. So I was trying my best. He was he could speak a little bit of English, but Spanish was his main, and I can understand and speak a little bit. But he was freaking out. He kept asking me if he was going to die. And at first I couldn't understand why. And so as I started doing my assessment, you know, obviously he was freaking out about his dad, and I thought that he was asking because of that. He had a massive visceration with his insides hanging out, just completely cut open his oblique with this shit hanging out.
How old is this kid?
6.
Oh my God.
And then he had a little bit of a, like I said, he was wearing a helmet when this happened. Thank God. And from what I remember cleaning him up, like he had some other things going on, but that was definitely the worst one. Mm-hmm. So I just got my, I did like sterile dressing, wrapped him up, made sure to tell them like. Are
you pushing it back in and wrapping, or are you letting it hang and wrap?
No, I just made sure it was like all there, and then just wrapped over it just to keep it in place and clean. That was my main thing, was I wanted it to be clean, and I wanted him to stop looking at it. He kept looking at it.
Rightfully so.
So I would tell him, I was like,
and little kids, I mean, as soon as they see, they start
freaking out.
Yeah, even worse.
And so I just was talking to him the whole time. I'm like, hey, like, look at me. It's okay. Don't look at that. Don't look at Dad. Look at me. And then I would start talking to him about things, like trying to distract him. And then I wrapped it up and I was like, see, like, it's okay. And
because I mean, in the realm of injuries, guts hanging out isn't bad.
No.
Well, at least in like, you're not going to die. No. I mean, infection's probably your biggest fear at that, right? Yeah. I mean, you and I know that, but like this kid, I mean, obviously if you see your guts hanging out, all hell, you're going to lose your shit.
Totally.
But
and fucking 6 years old, like,
I get it, 100%. But like you being that calm, like, you know, there's a good chance, unless he's got internal bleeding or anything else, you're not seeing at the moment.
Which you don't know.
100%.
So, so I had him, we loaded him up in the ambulance. I rode to the landing spot, and then we put him on the gurney that the helicopter had, and then we carried him, loaded him up in the back of the helicopter, and they took off. And then,
is there any way for you to like follow up with these people?
Yes.
Or are you just such a high tempo, you're just on to the next one?
It's every once in a while. So like, we are really good. I have really good chiefs and captains that are on top of following up with, if we have rescue fires, those victims and their outcomes. That seems to be where most people follow up. Okay. I could ask and could try to say like, hey, can you try to, can you stay on top of this and see? Or sometimes people will just tell me, or I'll get an email or something.
Oh, cool.
But it doesn't happen as often as you think it would. And it's more so like, okay, move on to the next.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm sure he was fine. I don't know about Dad, because he wasn't my patient.
What about you said there was 3 people?
Yeah, the other one wasn't as bad off. I didn't even see him.
What's the dumbest shit you see where you're just like, what the fuck? Like when you roll up.
There's so many of
I know.
that.
Like, these are loaded questions.
I'm trying. I was like driving here too. I was thinking, I was like, I know he's going to ask stuff like that, and I need to try to remember some dumb. I've seen some dumb shit. Oh man.
I know for like somebody with your like profession, it's not like, oh, once a year you remember this traumatic thing. I mean, on an average day, are you going out once, 2, 3 times? I mean, or you just
for calls? Mm-hmm. Depends on where you work. Depends on which station I get put at.
In the holiday and the day.
Yeah.
Dude, is it true that people could just get crazier on full moons? I have cop buddies that are like, dude, full moons, it's a thing.
I think it's a coincidence. Yeah. I think so. I think those times, 4th of July, like you said, 4th of July's got to be the busiest I've ever been, probably.
What about New Year's? New Year's, I feel like New Year's is probably more
Christmas
drunk drivers.
Christmas is really quiet. Thanksgiving seems to be like normal.
Okay. No different, no influx in anything.
Yeah, not really. But yeah, it depends. Like, I have been getting lucky with good taps where they've been putting me every week. So could be like, I could go to a station and run 4 calls for the shift, and that's it.
Is that a lot?
No.
Really?
That's like slow as fuck.
In a day, or your 2 days of working?
In your 2 days of working, you could only run like 4 calls.
And you're bored?
Yeah. But then it's up to you at that point. Like, I'm doing my PT, I'm throwing a ladder, pulling a hose. Like, we're going out, we're doing training, we're going out, we're doing this, we're cooking, we're, doing a workout in the gym together or whatever. Like, there's plenty of things to do. You just have to do it.
So like a day like the 4th of July where all hell's breaking loose, do you guys try to get everything done super early in the morning and then you're just on standby?
Yeah. And like, hey, if you want to chill at lunchtime, like fucking chill. And there is people, like, you can go, like, you don't have to do all those things. You can just fucking kick it, make sure your rig check's done, do whatever. Like, sometimes I do that. Like, I feel lazy when I do it, but sometimes I'm like beat. Or especially if you run all night and you don't get any sleep, you're like, fucking, I don't want to do.
Because there's no downtime. When you're on your shift, would you say 48 hours?
Yeah.
It's 48 hours of constant. So you could come back of being on a call all night.
Yeah.
You're rolling back 4 or 5 in the morning, dropping your shit, and you can get another call and you're right back out the door?
Yes.
And
or you could leave and run like 3 or 4 calls and not even see the station for like 5 hours.
Really?
That does happen sometimes too. But then there's other days where it's like, if I get put at a slow station, you maybe run 1 call and then you're like, all right, I'm going to go work out. I'm going to cook lunch. I'm going to do some training.
So you get to learn the stations in there.
Yep.
That's insane.
After working there for a little bit, where you go work, their call volume. And like shit can always change. But there could be a place you go and you're like, all right, I know this is probably going to be a long shift because it's going to be slow and whatever. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to come up with a plan. Or maybe there's training on the calendar, so we're going to be gone for a couple hours doing something. Or maybe we have an event or whatever.
This seems like the life.
It's really cool. Definitely leaves you very
flexible.
Sleep deprived.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have drinking problems.
What's the downfall of being a firefighter?
You develop unhealthy habits for the most part. Sleep deprivation is real. I think you have to work really hard to find a work-life balance. And I just did that like last year. It was the first time ever that I was like, wow, I'm making changes. I'm not picking up overtime all the time. I'm not gone constantly. I'm not doing this, doing that. Like I
can have a life.
Yeah, I have a life now. I like my life outside of work. I work a healthy amount and then I take time off when I want to do things like this. And then like, I didn't do that before. I just worked all the time.
That's part of maturing too, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is. And like, when I got hired with the state too, it's like, I don't have anything. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have a dog who I know is very well taken care of by my mom. Thank God, while I'm gone. But that's it. So I'm like, of course I'm going to stack cash. I'm going to work. I'm working with all my friends.
Really young ones.
Yeah. So, but now, I definitely think that's a downfall. And I think what I observe a lot, which is it's pretty across the board for fire, police, military, to my understanding. And I've seen it a lot and I'm around it a lot and I hear a lot of things and I listen to a lot of people talk and watch what they go through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously affects home life, marriage, kids, everything. Like fire, I believe, has like the highest divorce rate.
Over cops?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. So I think that's a downfall. But I think at the same time, for the most part, depending on where you work, you can be in control of how much you work or don't work.
For sure.
Some places, to survive, to make enough money, you do have to work a lot, which is like what I was doing before. But there does come a point where it's like you can learn how to live a different way, or you're like, I made my lifestyle this way and I chose to provide for my family. So I have to work X amount of days a month because I'm supporting 3 people at home.
Yep.
But then you get like an unhappy wife or whatever. That's like, we wish you were home more, this, and that. But it's like, you're out here trying to support. And so it's a give and take.
Balance, yeah.
And it's
like
balance.
at the same time, like, you see a lot of guys in the military, like, I wish you were home. It's like, honey, you signed that dotted line.
Yeah.
We met in the military, that was a big reason I got out. She was getting older and I looked at all of my seniors and everybody that was above me and I was like, these guys, they hate their wives hate them, or their kids hate them. They had no relationship with their families. They're miserable. I'm like, you're 20 years in and you hate your life. Like, why? And they were all like that.
Yeah.
And that's when I started processing it. Like, this is and if you just stop and look at who's in charge and how their life is, and they're all the same, like there's your path.
Yeah.
And so I was at least smart enough to be like,
nope,
it's not for me.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not doing that.
I want to start a family, and I don't know what I didn't know what I was going to do at that time. Like, and it was scary, but I'm like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
And I wish it was. I joined the military, and I was going to, like, my goal was to career it. I don't miss the military one bit.
We don't?
I miss my buddies.
Okay, you missed that part of it.
Oh, that is it. Like, I get asked all the time, like, dude, you missed the Corps? Fuck no.
Yeah.
I had so much animosity. I hated it.
Yeah.
When it was time for me to go, I hated all of it. I hated putting on the uniform. I hated the smell at work. And I worked on the beach. Like, literally, seagulls would drop clams in our lot, like we call it a ramp where all of our vehicles were. Because, I mean, the beach was right there, and then you just, like, clam would come slapping up. They would drop them and they'd crack them. That's how they'd eat them. So, like, I literally worked on the beach. You'd hear everybody on the beach and smell the barbecue. Like, if you're going to be in the Marine Corps, besides being like a grunt or an infantry or recon, even though our job was one of the worst, it doesn't even exist anymore. They actually phased it out, but we were stationed on the beach, and it's the greatest place. You're in Southern California, right?
Yep.
Fucking hated it. I hated going to work. I hated everything about it except for the guys on my team.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's people make or break a lot of things.
100%. And I've always been one of those guys, thought I was super fair. Like, all my guys loved me. I made it so much fun. I always took the ass chewings for them. Like, so I tried to make our environment so much fun, and we'd always fuck around, and, like, I'd always let them do stupid shit. But it was just like, then you have that one guy. It's like, why are we sitting here on a Friday? It's 5:00 on a Friday, and I look busy. Like, why?
For what?
For what? Like, all these dudes on my team have all done multiple deployments. We're all instructors. Like, this is why we're here. It's kind of our downtime, and they're making us work. We're busting rust on a Friday.
Yeah.
Well, you got to clean your weapons, which our weapons aren't just a normal AR-50. We're cleaning 50 cal machine guns that have pins and parts and little crap. And you're telling me this
intricate.
at 2:00 on a Friday?
Yeah.
We've been sitting here all fucking week doing nothing, and now you tell me on Friday we have to have weapons cleaned before we go home? No. Like, and so I started, like, processing that. And, my last job in the Marine Corps, I was an instructor and for heavy machine guns, and it could have been the greatest thing in the world, and it was miserable. And I came home to wife. I was like, I'm out. I'm done. She's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I will flip.
You'll figure it out.
I was like, I will flip burgers at In-N-Out if I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. And I had actually just turned in my re-enlistment package. I was going to do another 4. I just turned it in like 2 weeks prior. And I went to my gunny at that time. He was awesome. I love my gunnies. This dude was like old school. Dude, 2 dudes on my team. I think he knew about it. I should actually ask him. I haven't talked to him in years. I had 2 dudes on my team that were running. I mean, it's been limited statute of limitation by then, so I could talk about it. So I had 2 of my sergeants. They came to me one day, and they're like, hey, we got approached. This guy wants us. He's going to buy us plane tickets to New York, to JFK. We just got to drive a car back for him. I was like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Go do your thing. And these dudes would drive to New York, or they'd fly to New York. They'd get a flight. They would land. As soon as they land, they'd get a text message of the parking spot in the car in the parking garage, where it was, level, all that shit. They'd get in it. The keys would be in it. They'd have cash in there, and they would drive it from New York all the way to Oceanside.
Damn.
And they would park it in a used car parking lot, and they would leave the keys in it, and they would go, and they would have a stack of cash. And I let these dudes do this all the time. And my gunny knew, like, we all knew about it. But, like, I didn't want to ask questions if they got, when it went down, but they did it the whole time they're on the team with me. So, like, I was like that guy. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know what's going on. Like, do your thing, guys. Like, there was a couple times like, yo, cut me in. Like,
right.
What's going on? But it was everything else besides that, like, was so, the environment was just cancer, and everything was just, it sucked. And I was like, God, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. And so that's when I realized, like, okay, I'm done. And I went in and I pulled my re-enlistment package, and I shredded
Good
it.
for you.
And I turned, and then I told my gunny, I was like, hey, I'm out. He's like, Bam, if I were to do it again, I would have got out at 8 years. He's like, it sucks.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just writing out my time. And I was like, when he said that, I was like, that's a sign.
You don't want to end up like that.
No. And then all of the good, and there was like this thing, like all the good dudes were getting out. All the guys that were smart enough to be an entrepreneur, want to spend more time with their family, wanted to better their life, all of them were getting out. All the guys that I looked up to were getting out. All the good leaders. So then you're stuck with these fucking idiots that's all they'll ever be.
Yeah.
Is a Marine, right?
Yeah.
And then they're miserable because they have everything else that piles on over the years of them being away from their family and children and all that shit. And I was like, this isn't for me. And so, yeah, I pulled my package, I shredded it, and I told her, I was like, we're done. And she's like, we'll figure it out. I mean, I ended up going straight to Afghan on a private side on the contract, but that was it. And I made that decision, and I've never looked back.
Good
And
for you.
it took me years until I didn't hate the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And then I got the pride and I was like, I loved it. But to me, like the last 3 years, especially the 3 years, I left my uniform at work. Like I drove home in civilian clothes, like on my motorcycle. I was big and I had a bunch, with my bike and everything then. And I never rode home in a uniform. I never took my uniform home because it was a job to me.
Yeah.
And it was a 9 to 5. I went in, I was non-deployable. We were instructors. So I wasn't deploying. I wasn't in a combat unit or something we were going to be training. So I didn't have to worry about it. All that
Right.
time had already passed. And I left everything at work and I came home. I was Brian at home. Like that was it.
Yeah.
And so that helped me transition them. So when I left, I had buddies, dude, where are you? I haven't seen you forever. I'm like, I'm out. They're like, you're out?
You're
like,
done.
I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew. They usually do like a big going away like ceremony and you get a placard. Nothing. Nobody even. That was it. And I pieced out. Cool. Started my new life and never looked back. And I was so ready by that point. And then I ended up going through my EMT. I really wanted to get on with Pechanga because my buddy at the time, his dad was like the chief of Pechanga down in Temecula,
Okay.
like on the res.
Yeah.
And so my buddy, he lived with my tattoo dude at that time. And that's when I was looking at, he's like, bro, he's like, come meet my dad. They'll bring you on right now. Like, he's like, I've known you for a while. So I was like, that was like my in. And then because that was all I thought I was going to be able to do. And then obviously I got a job offer to go to Afghan. I was like, oh, fuck, way better money.
Yeah,
and
totally.
so I did that for a while. But yeah, it was interesting. Like your work environment makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And so I feel like every fire department, like, obviously you guys have your internal shit, but it's like I have buddies that are firefighters and man, they all love it. I feel like it is an incredible career. How would you recommend, so anybody listening, especially young ladies that are looking to start a career in this world, I mean, I know there's not a ton of them.
Right.
But obviously it's an incredible career path to take and to
Yes.
look into. If you were to recommend, and we'll wrap it up with this, 'cause I know you probably got to get going and you're coming off the mountain for this. What would you recommend? How would you recommend, even just a young person trying to want to make a career path to going into being a firefighter? How would you recommend doing it? What's the best way or the smartest way to be able to do it?
The smartest way to do it would probably, I think, a huge part of being successful in this job is gaining experience where you can. I know that I have been very fortunate because I did not have to get my paramedic license, or even after I got my EMT, I didn't have to go work on an ambulance for a long time. That is what a lot of people do.
That's my path that I was looking to do.
You'll get it, and that's great because you get the experience, because most of the calls you're going to be running are medical or trauma related or something anyway. So that's a really good path to go because at least you have experience. People love seeing that you have experience of some sort. But I always, like, when I was instructing in the fire academy, I told a lot of people, I'm like, don't think that you just have to jump to applying for all these city departments. Like CAL FIRE, great. Forest Service, great. Go out there, get a job, get experience. It's much easier to get hired with those two departments.
So just get your foot in the door.
Yeah, because here's another thing. You will probably love it. And even if you don't, you're going to appreciate your other job you get in the future just by having to do that work before.
Because you hear these people are like, I didn't get accepted into the academy, or I didn't make it, like, or they only took a certain slot. Because I'm sure California is so competitive at this place.
Yeah.
And you hear these things. Like, that's one of the things when I was really pursuing, there's like, you got to find a department and you got to get approved to get an application or whatever.
Yes.
So even if that door shuts, try it again with CAL FIRE, BLM, state, anything, just get the experience.
I would say, and for me personally, I didn't plan on leaving my first structure department. So to me, it wasn't a stepping stone department because I think people do that. They look at the smaller one, and it's fine if it's like, say it's like your local hometown, it's super small, there's one station, you're like, I want to go be a volunteer and get some experience, or I want to go be a paid on call, go get some experience. Like, that's way better than doing nothing. And I think for me, like, like I said, I just went wildland because that was that's all I knew to do, just after talking to some people in a class, you know?
Yeah.
And
that was just the door that opened.
It was just the door that opened for me. And I'm so glad that I did that, because even though I didn't have a lot of structure experience, I had time. I had fire experience.
Got it.
I ran medicals there, and I got to, you know, learn a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And so when I went to a new department, it's like, oh yeah, I have this whole skill set. I still used it. Now I get to learn a new thing and a new side. But like I said, people love seeing if you have experience of some sort. And there are some people out there who you're going to go to an interview, and I always try to tell people for interview prep and people that are new and don't have any fire experience or whatever, I'm like, talk about what you do have experience in, like trade work or, you know, like construction. They just want to see you're a hard worker. Yeah. I did this trade, or I played professional baseball, or I did, like, there's a lot of athletes that I work with, like literally like pros, and they did that before. And then there's people who, you know, I went over here and built houses for 6 months out of the year, or I did this, I did that. Like, we all want to work with someone who you're going to have to be with this person for days.
They really want to know who you are.
You live together. Yeah, we want to know who you are, that you have life skills, that you don't just, like, you've never had to, like, do your own laundry or wash your own dishes or do anything like that.
'Cause that's going to change real quick.
Yes, exactly. Like, if you don't have fire experience, flaunt everything else that you do have.
Got it.
And sell yourself. And for this path, that seems to be a really good way to get in, even as an entry-level person. Yep. They're going to look at your resume. They're going to talk to you in your interview. They'll be like, okay, this person has life experience. They've done things, like, they would be a good fit. You can teach anyone. You put someone in a fire academy, and as long as they can learn. Yeah, they can learn. As long as they're strong, they don't give up, and, you know, that's pretty much it. You can teach someone how to throw a ladder. You can teach someone how to pull a hose, whatever. Be a firefighter. But you can't teach work ethic and, you know, life experience and stuff like that. So definitely, to people that are trying to get in, don't give up, but also don't be so narrow-minded with your choices or your options, and don't
to get on with this fire department.
Like, say Boise Fire Department, you're like, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, even if it doesn't work out the first time
it's
or
your
whatever,
goal.
It's still your goal.
Yeah.
Go get a job on a hand crew or on a wildland engine or somewhere else, and then in a couple years, come back and try again, and let them know that. Be like, hey, didn't work out. That's okay. Thank you. And I'm going to keep trying. Cause they also like hearing, like, you're going to keep trying.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this person wants to be here. They want to work with us.
So when they see you again, they'll be like, oh, he is back.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I work with guys now currently that have had to apply like 2 or 3 times to get the job.
No shit. Mm-hmm. That's what they want to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. And definitely just have fun.
I'm sure you guys have plenty of fun. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I know you just came off the mountain and you're on your way through and you're off to the next adventure, but I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad we finally got to connect and get you on and hear some crazy stories. And it's awesome to be able to see the path that you've taken.
Thank you.
Where you started to where you are now. I mean, that was a hell of a journey, and good for you.
It's wild.
It's pretty awesome, especially, I mean, being probably the only woman in a lot of these situations. So I'm team girl dad and all about the women, you know, doing some crazy shit. So it's definitely, I grew up in a really weird family, not like a male chauvinistic family, but very traditional. My mom was home, did that. And obviously having girls, and I push them to be able to do anything, whatever they want to do, and it's pretty awesome. So that's why
That's amazing.
It's cool, especially now that she gets to sit here and listen to women that have busted their ass and be able to accomplish some pretty awesome goals and to come in and just dominate. So
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. We love having you. So if you're ever back through, let us know and have you back on.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. That was a long time, huh?
Was it?
Yeah. Was it?
I have no idea. My iPad shut off, so.
3 hours.